Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Michael, with your other hosts.
Sage.
Cat.
Anthony.
Colin.
And we're talking Flip Flappers today. It's our anime club. So that's pretty much going to be about a majority of the episode, if not all of it. If you haven't watched and you don't really care about spoilers, continue watching. You do you. I don't really care. But that's mostly what we're talking about today. So, yeah.
Just alienate the fan base. Like, I don't really give a shit if you watch
Yeah,
this. Like, it's
go fuck
completely
yourself.
fair.
Have you seen this obscure anime? No? Fuck off.
Michael.
What? Oh, right. Cat's showing us.
A
Right.
really cute figurine.
Figuring
want.
she's trying to consider.
They're each $400.
No, don't do it.
Oh, 100%
They're
get the REM
so
one. At the
nice.
very least, you got to get the REM one.
The REM one is
Let me
so
see.
good.
Let me see the REM
Like,
one.
It's a
'Cause
phenomenal.
REM, I
Y'all
love.
are such
It'll
bad
be on
influencers.
the
I
screen
have
if you're
to
watching
get
it on
both.
YouTube.
It's so good. They're so nice.
Yeah.
After I just spent $150 on figures.
No, look.
Everyone
Get
here
more
is a bad
figures.
influence.
This
Yeah.
is a really good figure. That's really nice.
They're so nice. Did you see?
Oh, I didn't see this one. Who's this? Oh, it's the same person?
No,
The
it's
other
her
one's
sister.
Rom. This one's Rem. They're twins.
Wait, Ram was the one I saw before?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
pink,
Well, I
right?
mean, they're both a vibe. Like, they're both
They're-
great.
They're
Oh,
both
yeah.
really
So
cute.
I think you
nice.
might like that show.
What's it?
ReZero?
ReZero? Oh, I've
Yeah.
heard of it, actually. It's
Yeah.
on Netflix,
Did I
right?
ever
No.
get a season 2?
Just kidding.
Yeah,
Yes.
it
Yes.
just finished a little while
Yeah.
ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to tell you, Promised Neverland is on Netflix now, so I'm going to watch it.
The
You
second
absolutely
one or
The
should
the
first
watch
season.
the first
Oh
season.
Just
yeah,
watch the
watch
first.
that.
No, the first season's only on Netflix.
Nice.
The second season that doesn't exist is not on Netflix.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're gonna really like that one.
I'm going to watch it and report back to you.
For what?
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Promised
didn't hear
Neverland.
anything you
I
just
just
said.
because I was on Netflix the other day.
Oh.
I was on Netflix the other day because I was gonna start watching Master of None season 3, and I saw that Promised
Watch Full
Neverland.
Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
No,
Why not?
just to spite you. I'm not gonna watch it.
No, you should. It's
It's
one of the
really
best.
And I
good.
saw Promised Neverland was on Netflix, and I was like,
And you
oh,
were like,
Colin
might
was
as well.
oh.
I was
watch it.
saying that's one of the better horror things I've seen in the last couple of years. I don't watch a lot of horror, but it doesn't do like jump scare kind of stuff. It just makes you afraid every time you're watching.
Like psychological.
Yeah.
I do like.
It's like
I do me
it's
some
like
horror.
you are stressed. You are sweating every
Oh,
episode.
that's what I like. When I want to be stressed out rather than scared.
Yeah.
Have you ever
it's
seen
like that's the
Hereditary?
good kind
Yeah.
of scared.
Because then I
Yeah.
won't have nightmares.
Yeah.
So that's,
No, I
that's
got
preferred.
I got a nightmare from the first episode actually. Like that
Really?
was how I had like a little bit of like a stress dream. And I was like, oh.
No, I was actually
Dude,
fine.
that happened to me when I played Dead Space for the first time.
What's Dead Space?
Straight up. When I
Oh,
played
I-
Dead
I
Space for the
believe
first
it.
time, I had
Video game.
nightmares. It was bad.
I got that part, but I wanted any other
about,
detail
It's about
it.
like, you ever see Alien?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that.
like
Well, I haven't
Alien.
seen it,
It's
but I know
that.
it.
It's like
Okay.
Alien.
Yeah.
But made
Yeah.
a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Gotcha.
much, but like longer.
Cute.
Yeah, and there's like more than just
Is
the
it-
one.
There's
thing.
more than
Is
one,
it
and you
cute?
actually have a chance of killing the thing.
It's
Yeah.
an odd thing
But,
to say.
Well, I guess it's
I
more
think
like
the Xenomorph's
Aliens,
really
right?
cute.
See?
Xenomorph-
Not
Xenomorph
just
Well,
me.
I mean, because
Xenomorph is
Aliens
snack.
is not
Xenomorph's
really
a cutie.
horror; it's
Snack.
action.
No,
So
Yeah.
it's the horror of Alien, but with
Have-
more than one alien.
Have you ever seen H.R. Geiger talk about like making the Xenomorph and how he wanted it to be like the sexiest monster ever?
Yeah.
What?
No,
I
Okay.
mean he's right.
See,
But-
my opinion going in blind was not wrong
Of what?
because I've never seen Alien.
You went in blind on Alien?
No, I
No,
never
no,
saw
it's
it.
a cute.
On
So
Oh,
I
her
just said
opinion.
that it
Okay.
was cute
Oh
unknowingly.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
cute.
H.R.
She's
Geiger.
cutie.
Uh,
Xenomorph's a cutie.
yeah, Xenomorph
Yeah.
is
I'm just
cute.
waiting for you guys to edit this to put up photos so I can know what the fuck we're
I
talking
mean,
about.
totally
let me-
pulled
I
it
got-
out.
I got
You've
you.
totally
This Colin
seen the
guy.
Xenomorph
The
before.
Xenomorph is my favorite monster.
It-
You,
it's
you've
the
my
one-
probably
favorite monster,
seen
too.
it at
It
some
looks
point.
like
sure
in
this,
culture.
right? It's like
How specific?
Yeah, its mouth opens and then another little mouth shoots out.
Right.
Oh, I've seen it. Not
Yeah,
cute.
Yeah.
exactly.
Not
It's like
cute.
a black.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's
yeah.
adorable. Are you kidding me?
have you
It's
seen
so
the like
hot.
Are
spoofs
you
where like the
telling me-
second
It's
mouth
so-
talks?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's so hot.
That's
Yeah,
not
I have
sexy.
seen that. Not a cutie. In fact, not a cutie.
Oh my god, can we
Uh,
do an episode where we
snap.
just rank movie monsters based on how
I mean,
hot
we
they
can.
are?
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yes,
that's
we
so
Oh my
sure
god, we
can.
absolutely should do this.
So
like
anyway.
Frankenstein, Predator, Alien, Xenomorph. Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Dracula.
Anyway.
Dracula's
So
good.
anyways,
Dracula,
This,
yeah.
Flip flappers.
But there's been
Yeah,
like 30
this
versions of
episode
Dracula.
is,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
you know,
Flip
supposed
flappers.
to
yeah,
be
talk
about
about
flip
a
flappers.
Yeah,
show.
Anyway.
flip flappers.
Yeah,
So,
flip flappers.
They're
Um,
flapping their flips. Ew.
Wait. I got.
I hated
Wait.
that.
No.
So
Mike, I got this. Yeah, and then we can do something about Mad Max. You know what reminds me of Mad Max? This one show called Flip Flappers. Take it away, Mike.
Fuck
Oh,
off,
was that like
Colin.
episode 3 or 4?
2, I think.
Oh, 2?
Yeah.
Or
Colin
they
and
go
I
to
were
like the
three.
Mad Max
Three,
one?
I think.
It was
I
2
thought
or
it was
3.
3.
I don't remember.
I think it was
And,
yeah,
and, yeah, I
two,
think it's 3.
I watched
Colin,
it with
Colin
Anthony.
and I were watching it together, like the first 3
Yeah,
episodes
so,
together. We were like, holy
um,
shit, it's Mad Max. Man.
I watched this show like, so I've pretty much always watched anime, but like when I started getting back into anime around college-ish, like my second or third year of college, I went and like found this show. I think it was either then or it was when
Well, it
back
came
in
out
like senior year.
2016.
So then it wouldn't have been my senior year. So it would have been college.
sophomore year.
Yeah.
So like probably second or third year of college. I just kind of stumbled upon it. I saw like some anime podcast I was watching at the time had like the fight
Full
scene from
circle.
episode 3 in it. And I was like, "Oh, that looks rad. What is that?" And so I looked it up and was like, "All right, bet watching this."
Wow, you actually like watch the shows to completions that you're like, this looks really cool. I should watch this.
Well, at the time I didn't have a long list.
Oh,
of things.
okay,
Like
okay,
I
okay.
was like like I said, I just started getting back
Gotcha,
into
gotcha.
anime.
Is that some self shade thrown at yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And,
She's been on
yeah.
episode 4 of Game of Thrones for how long?
Oh my God. Wait, I just looked at my
public
anime
doesn't
list,
need to
and right
know.
now I have currently shows that I'm watching, like 29 entries right now.
That's
Oh my
disgusting.
God.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh,
No,
that's a
it's
lot
bad.
of
You and
shows.
Mike
I should
are, like,
probably
the worst,
finish
but
Yeah.
it.
No,
It's the same with
I
me.
know
Mike-
because
Mike-
I watched the shows I put on.
Mike
Yeah, but you watch,
watches
like,
them
12
and
at a
And
time.
none of those
them.
episodes, I mean, none of those shows are just like one episode. Like they're all like I'm like 8 episodes
Oh
into
my
them, and there's
God.
just
No,
like
because I bounced
29
between
of
to
them.
actually finish them.
No,
I just
you do-
watched 10 concurrently.
You do finish. Like I'm not giving you any shade on that. You just like have like 10 to 12 at a time, and
Yeah.
I'm like, unless
how
I'm
does
watching
your
something
brain
week
store
to
that
week,
much
I can
anime?
barely watch one at any given moment. You're
Like
watching
when
10
I was
over here. I'm
watching
like, oh my
Flip
God.
Flappers, I felt like I had to use so much brain power just to be like, okay, let me look
Towards
at this.
the end, I
with,
needed
like, a
brain power to
critical
understand what
eye.
the fuck was
Because I
happening.
wanted to watch it and
Oh, I
like
can't wait to
be
talk
like,
about
okay,
Flip
here's
Flappers.
like points
God,
I want
feel
to
like
talk
I'm about to get,
about.
like, roasted.
Can't wait to talk about it.
Okay, so anyway, I picked this just because I still from that thing I like ended up watching it and I really loved it. I gave it like a 9 out of 10 on my anime list, and from there when I was like, and then Kat, when she started watching anime, she wanted us to watch Future Diaries, and
Ugh.
for us to do
That
that.
wasn't when I first started.
No, but like when you were like getting back, like getting into it, like
When
then
you
had
became
started,
a weeb.
Yeah,
When
you
you were
started-
born
yeah.
a
When
weeb.
you
So then
decided to dive in, no
You wanted us to
first.
watch it so bad that you were telling us that if we watched it, you would watch a show me or
Yeah, you
Colin
made me watch
suggested.
Devil is a Part-Timer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Colin suggested that, and I was originally going to suggest Flip Flappers, but before we ever did, we started Anime Club.
Yeah, you
Right.
said I'll just wait.
Yeah, so then I just figured I'd wait, and so we finally got around to it. I suggested it mostly just because I was like, oh, it's kind of like a random, like, obscure show that apparently not that obscure. Found that out. But
I was gonna say it's not that obscure.
but like as far as I was aware, it was.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well, it's. Yeah, I remember it being super fun. Let's like figure out if it still is. And having rewatched it, fuck, I love it more than I did before. Apparently, on the vibes I'm getting, nobody liked it as much as me. But I have so much to say about this show. I made notes. because
Oh,
I-
that's
Oh,
adorable.
big man,
I
big
was
man.
gonna make notes, but I thought that was too much. So I was like,
I
you know what?
literally
I'll
just watched it in the past couple days.
No,
don't
I
need
was
notes.
like, I watched it
That's all
twice.
here.
Same, but like I still wanted to, I wanted to be able to like make sure I could like have a, like an like a,
Intellectual.
yeah, like
Yeah,
that
for
I could
sure.
say
Us
what I wanted to say.
into-
We gotta fix that light.
So yeah, I
Can you fix
I just-
strobe
I-
lights in
Yeah,
post?
but yeah, no, I just I don't know. I really liked it going back through it, and I found like even more reasons to like it than I did because I didn't really remember much about it. I just remember enjoying it. But
That's fair.
Mike, I love how you're talking directly to me because you know I'm gonna rip this thing apart later.
well, yeah, whatever.
I'm
Okay,
kidding.
before
But
I-
like I especially wanted to get notes because I was like, I don't think any of them liked it, and I need to be able to say why I liked it more than just I thought it was neat.
It was neato coolo, guys.
So I wanted to like say why I did, and yeah, so like that's why especially with this watch through once like I like really wanted to like pay attention to it and be like, okay, I remember liking it. Now I'm gonna go back to it and see why I did, or if I still do, because I wasn't sure I was going to. And yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
who wants to start yelling at me?
I watched it twice.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
Be-
All
because
right.
You watched it all
Why?
the way through twice?
I mean, it's only 13 episodes. It's not like
when did you start it?
I don't know, maybe like
Well, you
3
get a
weeks
month,
ago.
so
I know, but I didn't have time to watch
Yeah,
it.
no shit.
No,
I
but
watched
so-
the whole
Busy
thing.
watching Fruits Basket.
Very important.
Yeah.
The
She's
first
been texting
time
me about it.
I
Mhm.
watched it, I really was like not super here for it. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun, but I was just like, I mean, this isn't super gripping. Like, I think this is a good like turn off your brain show. And I remember I had like told Mike that like very briefly.
And he was like, "How dare you?"
Yeah, he was like getting upset with me. I was like, okay, to be fair, I'll watch it again. And
I
like
would have been like,
Do
"No."
you still feel the same?
really focus. I feel like on my second watch, I definitely like appreciated it more.
Okay.
I still don't think it's like, because you had said it's like Madoka Magica, and I still don't feel like it's like that.
I like this
yeah,
more
the-
than
In like
Madoka
its
Magica.
themes.
I guess yeah, I don't agree with that anymore. I don't remember why I said that.
I don't
That was
know why
what
you
they
said
said.
either.
It's not
Because I feel
Madoka
like
Magica.
I kind of get what you were saying in that, like,
Because I remember when
there's-
you originally said you didn't like it, you were just like, there was nothing to it. And I was like, no, there's so much to this. I don't think you watched it.
I mean, I still don't think there's like a terrible amount of substance.
Oh, there's so
It's
much.
you know what it is. There is
I
substance,
promise
but the
you,
way
I have
the
things to
the
talk
way
about.
they present it doesn't make me want to like actively engage with it.
Well, because
Yeah.
it's all done visually.
No, even
That
and
doesn't-
I'm a visuals person. I love visuals. I love visual storytelling. I think there's
Oh,
certain
sorry, I didn't see you there. I was too busy engaging with the text.
no. That's not what I mean. I mean,
Sorry,
like,
anyway, go ahead.
like I think there's portions in like certain episodes where it's like, if you watched it on mute, like you could really get like what's happening without having to hear any dialogue, which is great. But I think like overall, I'm just like, it's there.
Yeah.
It's nice to look at, but I'm not like superly like bonded
Well,
with
like,
these
'cause
girls.
I mean, the story as like a whole is like is nothing special.
Right.
But like, it's more the way that they go about telling the story that I like. Because like, there's a bunch of like philosophical stuff that they throw into there to like show the.
Wait, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
The end, which is so most of this show is random, quirky, fun adventures, which is great and
Monster
everything.
of the week type
Yeah,
deal.
like that's totally fine. Like it was good. Like it was entertaining and everything like that. But the substance of the show was towards the end, and I felt like that shit was just
Yeah, they
way
just
too rushed.
backloaded
was
the
Oh,
shit
Like
yeah,
out
no,
of
and
too
it and
late,
it and
too.
it lost
For sure.
everything because
no,
it
I,
was
No,
no,
100%.
I feel like
Then-
there's crumbs of the substance because
yeah, but you
you
guys only
see-
know that because you watched it twice.
No, no.
Oh.
That it is,
I
I
noticed
promise
it
you,
on
it
my
is
first
all there
watch.
visually, and then everything that is explained in the last 3 episodes is all hinted at and given to you in crumbs throughout the entirety
Right.
of the
I know,
show.
but you
that
don't
then they
notice
then
that
use
enough.
the last 3
because,
episodes
like,
to fully
in,
explain.
even in like the first episode, and it's that like dream sequence of like Mimi in the boat, and she's like, what does she say? She says something like "Welcome home" or something like
Yeah.
that. And it's like they keep like repeating that kind of like sequence,
Yeah.
and they do,
The
a,
motif.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
keeps having the dream.
and then they,
But that doesn't
but they
mean
do
that the
a
end's
lot
not
of like.
rushed because they
No,
give you
There,
crumbs.
there's
I
more
think-
than
I think
just
it's
that
rushed.
through the
Yeah.
end, though.
I
Like-
also think it's rushed, but I think like to play devil's advocate, I think Mike is right in that like there's definitely crumbs.
No, I mean I'm not saying that the show had nothing towards the beginning. I'm just saying that they rushed
In
that ending
comparison,
so much that I feel like it lost so much. Like if they just split it more instead of these, I don't know, gave just a little bit more earlier, then like I'm pretty sure everything goes down in the last like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, so
like,
everything in the entire show, like even in like just the like in the backgrounds and like in small instances of conversations and stuff, is all told like to where you get a gist of everything that's going on. The last 3 episodes are then
Yeah, I
answering
mean-
every question you had,
yes,
because that the person that controls Pure Illusion is now there to give you the full
but
answers.
I think it's
Oh,
still
okay.
too
I think
rushed.
it would have
So
been
this
better if
isn't-
that
I'm-
didn't
I'm-
happen.
Please.
This isn't like a criticism of Flip Flappers like explicitly, but it's a victim of this. I think. I, as someone again who's not really like super versed in like the whole anime world, like I feel like anime in general has like a very big problem with like, especially I think this is a victim, like longer shows fall victim to this, of like having like their blank of the week, monster of the week, case of the week, whatever, and then like backloading all of like the plot that's hinted at throughout the show at like the last 2 episodes, because like Cowboy Bebop does it, Evangelion does it, like Cowboy Bebop, right? Like we get hinted at like
every
Vicious.
every half like 5 episodes, 10
Yeah,
episodes.
we get hinted
yeah.
at with Vicious like
20.
all the time, right? And then like Vicious only shows up I think like 5 episodes out of the 26 episodes, and then in the last 2 episodes, like the whole thing with Julia goes down, the whole thing with Faye goes down, like everything happens in the last 2 episodes, and it's like it doesn't feel like there's any like rising action towards it. Same thing with Evangelion, right?
Right.
Like Evangelion, like the episode before, like the whole instrumental instrumentality, right? Yeah, the whole thing with the instrumentality happens in like the last 2 episodes, and then with and then with End of Evangelion, which shouldn't have been made in the first place because that only got made because people were like, "What the fuck is this?" You know
Which
what I mean?
I feel like
Which like is annoying.
it is annoying
Even
because
End
you
of
can.
Evangelion is one of the greatest anime movies ever made.
I still like Eamon's idea of it where one is internal, one's external.
That's my theory too. That's exactly what I thought when I first saw it. But like, End of Evangelion is one of the greatest anime movies ever made, in my opinion. Like, I love the shit out of that movie. But
Question.
like, it did not need to be made.
Right.
Like,
I think
the
you can
ending of the ending
understand
of the show was
the
fine as it
ending
is.
without having to have an
How
explanation.
many anime movies have you seen?
End of Evangelion.
Have you
that's
saying
it.
your name?
Yeah, I love your name. It's one of my
I love
favorites.
Your
I
Name.
love you. No,
Have you
I've
seen,
seen.
you've seen most Studio
I've seen-
Ghibli, right?
I've seen every single
Yeah.
Studio
Yeah.
Ghibli
I
movie.
just wanted to mess with you
No.
because I know you're like the least anime versed. So I
Yeah,
just wanted
yeah.
to joke.
No,
But
I've
the
seen
most
them.
in
You've watched a lot of the
movies, like,
movies.
yeah,
I
was
think you've
gonna
watched
say.
a lot more movies than I have.
I think
I haven't
honestly,
seen
if
that
I'm
many
being real, I think
movies.
I've seen a lot more anime movies than I have shows.
Have you
Yeah.
watched Akira?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I
I
love
love Akira.
Akira
Ghost
so
in the
much.
Shell is my favorite anime movie.
That's a
Love
really
Ghost in
good.
the
That's a
Shell.
really good one.
Have you guys seen the movie with the girl who I don't know what it's called. Ignore me. I'll talk about this afterwards because I can't even.
That was so vague.
I know.
I don't
Yeah,
even
I
know how to
thought-
begin
I thought
guessing.
about-
The girl, yeah.
No,
Silent Voice?
I was gonna go more
Silent Voice
into
is so
it,
good.
but then I
I
was
need to
like,
watch
but
that.
is
I
that
heard it's good.
spoilers to describe it? So instead of doing this, I'm just gonna Google it later and then ask you guys if you've seen
Alright.
the title because
But I've also seen
instead of ruining
I've also
stuff.
seen all of Motoko Shinkai's movies. He's the guy who made Your Name. I've seen like Withering with You.
Yeah, yeah.
The one of him and the student and the teacher in the park.
Oh yeah, I have.
You know what
I
I'm
know.
talking
I know
about?
what you're
I
talking
forgot
about.
what
I
it's
have not seen his earlier stuff. I plan on doing
Motoko
that.
Shinkai
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like I've seen also what's his name? Satoshi Kon, like Paprika.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like
It's
that. Like, I've
called
seen all
Ride
his
Your
stuff.
Wave.
no.
No,
I
I never
not.
saw it.
I would like to subject you guys to this movie and talk about it.
Oh, it looks really pretty good.
Yeah, we could watch it sometime.
Okay.
But
Anyway.
going back to my point is, Flip Flappers is also, I feel like, a victim of this, where like every anime, like, well, not every anime obviously, but like a lot of anime that I've seen personally, like front loads all of their stuff with like all of their season or series with case of the week shit, and then at the end, like the plot ramps up and then it just ends.
Yeah.
Which I feel like, which Flip Flappers did exactly that, in my opinion. Like Flip Flappers was all case of the week, going to different worlds in Perfect Illusion.
Pure illusion.
Pure illusion. They go to like different worlds and all of that, and there's like a cheeky movie reference or like a cheeky anime reference to something else. Which honestly, like,
I
the
really
Mad
like
Max-
the
when it's going
references.
when it's going through
references-
the genres and
the-
stuff.
Yeah, I
the
really like
references
that.
I
are
like that
really
part.
cool because like the Mad Max one like got me. I was like, oh shit, that's Mad Max is awesome. But the one episode that was like all Evangelion references was fucking awesome. Of like her just like.
Don't even know.
Oh, I know
that
which
is.
one. Yeah.
What
What is that, like, episode
I forgot
9?
which one it is. It's the one at the end
It was
where
later,
Konica she falls into that like black hole. Kokona. She falls into like that black hole. And
The
then
mother
say it,
said,
they
yeah,
say
I
it
was
so
gonna say,
many
the
times.
mother
No, no, no.
says it
That's the
so
thing,
many
it's
times. How
fucking
could you
white
forget
noise.
it?
Or Paprika or whatever the fuck it is.
The poppycock. Come on, they say it like
That's the
50
thing.
billion
That's the thing.
times.
No, but
White
when
noise.
his
It's
name
just
is
white
Salt,
noise,
was
dude.
she supposed to kind of be close to
You're-
Paprika? Because
But also,
The
wait,
because he
pain
was
in your
Salt.
eyes when he
Wait,
said
like,
that was-
actually, I wanted
Yeah,
to
whenever
do that.
Pumpkin shows up, it's fucking
Pumpkin.
Whenever Pumpkin shows up.
but
it's
also
fucking-
like Salt Loki Daddy.
Yeah,
No, Salt
I
Loki.
agree.
Okay, wait,
Oh,
wait,
yeah,
wait.
but I'd like-
I
I would-
hate
I'd
that.
like-
What
wait,
the fuck are
wait.
you talking
Yeah.
about?
But Salt was just like, for the majority of the show, knock off Gendo.
That's the thing. Yeah, I said that. The first.
But he's a better dad.
Him and I watched the first 3 episodes together.
Yes.
And when he shows up,
Because
and
he
has,
actually
like, the
fights
fucking-
for his kid.
Okay, I'll
sitting
give you-
there-
I'll give you
he's, like,
that.
sitting there like this, and he has
Yeah.
like the white on his glasses.
Right.
I'm like, okay, Gendo.
Yeah, no.
And he's like, yeah.
Again, but he's still a better dad. He fights for his
Oh,
kid.
no,
the
he's
end.
straight up no. Dude,
After
no,
abandoning
any
her.
dad
After
is a
abandoning
better
her.
dad than Gendo, bro.
Honestly.
Any
The,
dad.
like the entire
He-
like, I mean, he does it a couple
Naruto's dad
times,
is a better dad.
I don't know
Naruto's
that
dad is a
reference,
good
but
dad.
Sure.
Naruto's dad's a great dad.
That bitch
He-
is dead.
He
He had
sacrificed
to-
himself for his
He
kid.
had to sacrifice himself
for the city,
for an entire
an
city.
entire
I feel like-
entire village. His
Good
kid.
dad.
Good dad.
Yeah.
And
Good dad.
he it's like, hey son,
And to
I'm
be
gonna
fair,
make your life
he
hard,
set
but I'm
up
sorry.
he set up a plan for his kid. Lord Third was just a dick.
Lord Third.
Ouch.
Lord Third was just like, I'll give him an apartment, enough money to buy ramen,
And let everyone ostracize him.
Let everyone ostracize him.
Wait,
and
wait.
I'll check in on him
Sometimes.
every so often.
Do you think that like it's like, okay, here's this infant. Now go into this apartment. Here's like boxes, like
Of baby food?
7 years worth of like ramen noodles.
Wait.
All right, figure it out.
Okay,
We'll
I
come
mean,
back and check
Naruto
on
was
I
you.
feel like
alone
to
as
streamline
young
this a
as
little
like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I feel like to streamline this a
Anyway.
little bit, why don't
Right.
we all just like go around and say like our overall opinion of the show, and then we like dissect.
Yeah,
it.
then we can
Yeah.
dive
So,
into
Mike,
it.
you absolutely and utterly love this show.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not saying it doesn't have faults. I mean,
You
no,
enjoy
but-
it
but
for
I
your
don't
own
know,
trying to
am I
get
wrong
that.
in saying that your general opinion is that you love this show?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
especially now, like, especially because I was like, so especially after I finished watching it, I wanted to like, I don't know if anyone else does this, but like watch like reviews of things to hear
Oh,
other
I
people's
do- I
opinions,
do
to, like
that too.
solidify
I do
your
that
own
too
thoughts
sometimes.
and like,
yeah, for sure.
and like
You
maybe
like to
things you
hear
didn't
like a
pick up.
rebuttal.
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
like
no, absolutely.
So I listened to a couple like reviews, and then like it helped me also like realize things that like I kind of had thought, but then was like someone else was like, here explicitly is what the thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, so like that was the thing
Yeah,
I was thinking.
for
so,
sure.
Said
No,
in,
I
like,
do the exact same
more
thing.
Yeah,
better
like
words.
just because like sometimes my thoughts are just like they like you just
Monkey
like,
brain.
Yeah, yeah, and
No,
so like it helps you
especially-
solidify
I feel like when you engage with something that you really like this is for me too, because like I feel like when I see something that I absolutely love, I feel like pretty scatterbrained when it comes to like trying to put thoughts into words.
Right.
So when I watch reviews, I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, like that guy is thinking exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so
it kind of like,
like
justifies what I'm saying. Or not
yeah, so
justifies,
it helped me
validates.
like form my ideas that like once we start delving like deeper into this that like some of them are informed from those videos of like the things I thought, but then like they kind of like put the words to my brain and we're like, oh, okay, that is what I was thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, I do like this show. At the very least, even if like you don't like fuck with the story at all, the visual,
The visuals are
it is so
really,
pretty,
really
and
pretty.
all of the fight scenes are awesome to watch. They're animated so well. I believe it's 3 Hertz Studio. They have not really done anything else
Just
of note that at least I have seen. Colin, I don't know if you want to
Yeah,
double
it
check
was
me.
Studio 3 Hertz.
Okay, cool.
I can
yeah.
check real quick. What
I don't
else
think
done.
they've done anything, at least that I have seen of
They
substance.
did Sword Art Online Alternative.
Oh yeah,
Did they
right. I
really?
never
Yeah.
watched that one. but
Dimension
yes.
W.
Okay.
I meant to watch that one. I never got around to it. They did a couple.
I
of
also
things.
meant to watch that, but I meant to watch a lot of
It,
stuff.
a couple
their art
of, like,
style,
smaller-
at least in Flip Flappers, feels like kind of like Trigger-esque.
It makes me think of I don't know why, but it makes me think of like early 2000s anime,
I
but
get
like
that vibe. Yeah.
in 2016
Yeah. Oh, also
in like
it's
the
a
line
Yuri.
work.
Those two girls do love each other.
They really do.
Dude, they get bridal battle armor in
Oh
the
my
last
god,
episode.
it's so cute. I love it
It's
so
like they're
much.
literally the bridal battle armor.
They
and
get the
it's
bridal
rad.
battle armor, and then her mom gets the funeral battle armor.
Yeah. She
She's
shows
like,
up in a
I'm
black
wearing
dress.
black to your funeral. Let's go.
But yeah, like I think that their relationship is built up very well. Like at least in terms of like showing how she gets to that point of where she thinks like, oh, like I guess I like kind of do love you. Like it culminates in that in the episode when she's going through all the different anime tropes of like
Oh, the
the two of them.
relationships.
Yeah. Because then they're laying in that bed.
Right.
And she's like, I think I love you, or something to that effect. And she's like, yeah, but which Paprika do you actually like? And like she disappears, and
Mhm.
and then like it all builds to when she finally like in the 10th or 11th episode when she like finally realizes after like being in her own head how she feels, and then like that's when she's able to touch her and be like, you know, and commits like I do love you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway. I think there's a good amount of build up and whatnot. Anyway, that was the more not streamlined. Anyway,
Sage, what do you
opinion.
think?
I think this show is really cute. I think it's fun. I think it's very like slightly above mid tier, where I would definitely rewatch it. I mean, I already watched it twice, but I would definitely rewatch it for funsies. But it's not a show that I want to like sit down and actively analyze like I did with Evangelion. Even though I actively dislike Evangelion, there's so much there to like break down and think about.
Mhm.
And the way they like present that information, it's like
so much to go into to be rebuttal. So
There-
much.
and similar, like I guess if we want to talk more like on the magical ghost
Wait, about
spectrum.
what?
About
About how Evangelion has nothing going
no,
on?
no. In terms of she's saying like that she didn't think there was a
He's
lot
still
of
on
Right.
Flip Flappers.
Oh, okay.
Right.
No, 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 no.
Sorry,
You're-
sorry,
in
sorry.
terms of
I
her,
was about to
no.
say.
In terms of her
You're on
saying that there was
Evangelion,
not, there's
he's
not
on
a lot to
Flip
delve
Flappers.
into.
No, but I mean like
There's
if,
there's a lot.
if
Although
you-
some of it doesn't work for Western audiences. It's more of
Yeah.
a Japanese
I got
based
you.
thing.
if you
Anyway.
think about like if we're gonna go off of like a
just drank that
magical
in
girl theme, Madoka Magica, it's
Just
basically the
noticed
same
this.
amount of episodes, and like there's a similar theme of like finding your courage and like realizing like who you are, who you want to be, and like choosing like your own choices for yourself, opposed
Right.
to like being timid and unsure and like being like okay with like who you want to be and like building relationships. I just think with like Madoka Magica, it's done. It's like it's the same kind of like otherworldly transported to like a different dimension type thing. You know what I mean? Like in the
Like
way.
an isekai kind of thing.
No. I mean like you know how in Madoka Magica they like enter like this like
The
alternate.
witch room,
Yeah.
which is reality.
Whereas like in
Pure
Flip
illusion.
Flappers they go to pure illusion, and it's like the world but like different. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, because it's all based off of like something psyche.
Right.
Because it's all based on like somebody's view of themselves.
Right. And so like the like witch's room is the same kind of
Yeah, yeah.
principle. But I just feel like with the way that Madoka Magica is paced and the information that they give you throughout each episode is done just like more tightly and more cohesively, and that like when something like big happens in that show, it doesn't feel like it's out of nowhere. You're like, oh my god, that makes so much sense. Where I felt like with Flip Flappers, when like big moments happen, I'm like, did I miss something? Like,
I
like
know
did,
exactly what
did,
you're
did,
talking
did
about.
they
Yeah.
just like speed run like 3 episodes that I
Yeah.
should have like seen? So it feels like there's like, it just doesn't feel as streamlined, which is I think why I'm not getting as much substance from it as I guess you would have gotten from it, because like I want things that are like really nice and concise and like less dicey, you know?
Like you just like want it like given to you.
No. It's not about given to me. I just want it to be like less jumpy. It felt like with Flip Flappers,
Like you
it's
got
like,
random crumbs here and there,
but they were
versus, like,
such small ones.
exactly versus like actually been if every episode had like the last like half of it or something towards not even half of it, like just the
5 minutes.
yeah, like part of it that did it versus here's a crumb in this minute and here's a crumb in this minute and like that kind of thing. I think is what Sage is
Yeah.
trying to
Well,
say.
Because-
I think the point. Well, I mean, I don't know. For me, I think the idea is more because of pure illusion being like based on like psyche and stuff, that it's not. It's so like separated because it's trying to like push through that idea that like it's only being able to show up sometimes. Like sometimes it's just an object in the background, and then like you'll realize that comes back up again. Like during the final fight in like episode 12, right? Like you like when they transform and they attack those two like little black blob monsters. You hear the bell of the clock tower and everything reverses time again.
Right.
And like so
I remember
like, that's
that,
a callback to
which I
that,
quite like.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And like so that one's a little more obvious, but like there's a lot of those things, and especially in those last 3 episodes, that are like things that were shown throughout each episode in different times and at different points that you would not necessarily have understood until it all culminates in those episodes being like, here's all the answers for the things that you might have noticed, which is which it does a lot through like especially
But I don't even think it's that we're saying that it's not there. It's more we just don't like the way it was done.
You know what I
Okay.
think it is? I think Flip Flappers is a show that demands a rewatch so that you can watch it the first time, enjoy it for its like kind of spectacle.
yeah, that was
And
probably
then-
exactly what I did with the first
and
watch.
then on the second watch you're
You pick
over
up
the
on that
spectacle part,
yeah.
and then you can like start to actually dissect the show and be like, okay, here's like the breakdown of how everything's happening. But I think if you only watch it once, you are so busy with the visuals, and
Right.
because if you're the kind of person who is, let's say, like less inclined to understand visual storytelling, or you're just like not really interested in that, you want more like written
Exposition and
word and
stuff, yeah.
exposition, I think you're gonna lose a lot of the information on the first watch.
I would agree with that. Like I was literally telling Colin today, I was like, I remember it's interesting going back to the show and being like more of an like an analysis side of myself
Right.
now, because like when I first watched it, I was like, cool visuals.
You were
people
like,
punching
ooh,
each
bright
other.
colors, and
Yeah.
you know, like this, that, the other
And then
thing.
this time around, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
There's like philosophy shit.
Which
in
is
here.
why I feel like I'm kind of on the fence of saying like this is a good show, but it's not great, because I did watch it back like both times back to back.
Right.
Because I still feel the same of like what Kat's saying, like there's this info dump at the end, which I felt still happened on my second watch, but it felt less like
So close.
Good time.
You're not that
And
guy.
Karate Kid, Jesus Christ.
It felt less like in my face the second watch,
Right.
whereas the first watch I was like, okay, Jesus Christ, like,
Okay.
calm down. All right, Kat.
Cat.
So I enjoyed it, but not for the same reasons that like I guess I enjoyed it more because of the visuals. I was like, this was fun. This was, and it wasn't like mind numbing. Like I did think it was good. I think I gave it like an 8, like when I rated it.
You gave it a 7.
Oh, I guess I don't like it as much.
But
as
is
I
it-
thought.
was in the car with Colin,
he was
and I looked.
with
I
me.
opened
Well,
my
stop
anime list.
stalking it.
No,
He
because
was
it was
with
like,
me.
it was just in the in the
I'm
little
gonna defriend
notification.
you.
It was in the notifications thing. Like I opened my anime list app, and it was like
I
notifications
never
that you
see
missed.
things that you guys rate.
and
You're like always like, oh, I saw you just watch this. And like 10 seconds after I've just put it up, and I'm
it's
just
right
like,
there. It's
no.
like
I'm
literally
not saying I
opens
don't
to that.
believe you. I'm just
No, but
saying
like
that
I
mine
opened it when we were in the
happened.
car after getting lunch, and I went, she gave it a 7.
Wait, but
and
isn't
Colin
a
was
7
like, yeah,
like
and
okay? Like
Yeah, I
7
was
is not
like,
bad.
oh,
It's
you're
good.
gonna
7 is
really like
labeled
my
good.
opinion.
Yeah. No, okay. Okay.
it's,
So 7
it's
is
good, very good, great masterpiece.
Okay. So 7's right. I think so.
I would give it a 7.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it, but okay, they don't.
Yeah,
think
Oh
so.
my
they-
God,
they-
Anthony
they-
and
We'll
they-
get
Colin.
there. I
They're
think-
already.
Wait.
Sure.
I
Should we
wonder,
bust out the marshmallows
You
for
guys
this
might
roast?
have to switch seats. We have to see who hates it more because we might be in
Oh,
order
yeah,
of
it's
like.
descending order.
Yeah, I'm liking it. So I don't know who dislikes it more, but you might need.
I guess
to
we'll find out.
I
Oh,
feel
we're
like,
gonna
I
find
feel
out.
like it's
If our
gonna
first
be
3
Anthony.
episode
Yeah.
watch was any indication, we might have to find out.
We had some pretty
some pretty
similar
hot takes.
opinions. A couple hot takes.
Some choice words.
A few.
Also, the soundtrack slaps.
Yes.
Oh, the soundtrack is really good.
Yes, and I think
You don't like the
No,
soundtrack?
neither of them like it.
Oh,
I thought it was
really?
okay. It was
I
fine.
love
Uh,
the OP.
It's
It
so
makes
good.
me
I
think
love
of
the-
like
I love the-
2005.
also the ending.
I
I
love
watched
the
it
ED.
every
I like
single
the
Yep,
time.
same.
Every single time.
The
It was
ending
so
is
The
adorable.
really
animation to that
cute.
ED especially
Yeah.
is so cute.
Yes,
and like it's
I
all like
agree.
the happy
I
little
agree.
like,
No, but
jungle,
even
like,
As
in-
the ED, the ending.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that was phenomenal.
But
Oh,
even
okay,
at
I
the
love
Thank
yeah,
you.
that was great.
in the opening, I just thought it was so adorable. The ending part where she Papika has her like her head in her arms, and then Coconut like runs over to her, and she's like out of breath with the umbrella, and then they're running through the field, and they're just having a blast. Like I just thought
It's
that shit
really
was
cute.
so
It is really cute.
adorable.
It is
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
cute.
like the little animation at the bottom is adorable. And
I
then they're
think-
like
I think
holding
there's-
hands and do the flip at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
definitely
Cute.
something about like it's like of lesser quality, like
But there's so much
animation wise.
charm.
No, but here's
The-
no,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing. No, that's what I really like about it is that because the fact that it's like lesser quality, like I think I don't like I know how to.
I just
describe
also
it.
thought it
looks
was a really
cuter.
cool
to me,
art
it
style.
It feels
Cuter.
like an old like fairy tale you'd be telling.
Yeah, I felt like
Like,
it was supposed to be
'cause,
like
the
Hansel
little
and Gretel
musical, like,
kind of.
yeah,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
And
Right,
then
right,
you
right.
have
It's
like the
lightly-
images of like
yeah.
the hand drawn.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
slightly
So
upbeat, but
nice.
slightly like a little creepy, and like you see like the two things of them are like Papika always being happy and like Coconut like kind of being scared. Like
Yeah.
throughout, she gets scared more and more scared,
Mhm.
and then she finally freaks out, and then they're running together in happiness.
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
because Coconut
It's really
comes over-
cute.
yeah.
It's really cute. There's something about how like low quality the animation is that just has like a lot of charm to it.
Yeah, it's like a lot simpler.
Yeah, I really like it. I thought the ED was great.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
So I liked the show because I just thought it was cute. Like I just thought it was
Fair enough.
adorable. Like I just thought it was a nice thing to watch. But like, I don't know if I guess I just because I was watching this like in the background of me doing stuff. Like I work a lot, so you know when I'm doing my overtime and stuff like that. Like I was watching it because I don't have that much time on like my lunch break. Like I was fitting it in wherever I could.
right.
Kind of thing. So I don't know if I just thought that like, oh, that's how this show's gonna go down, that my brain wasn't even ready to pick up crumbs and stuff, because this stuff that you're saying I didn't get.
Yeah,
Like-
I think especially from this second watch, I kind of realized that it was definitely more of a show that like if you were just kind of like background watching,
I
you
wasn't
wouldn't get
background
as much out of
watching.
it.
Like I still was like I wasn't watching when I was doing my regular hours at work, because then I wouldn't be
Right.
able to watch it, which I knew I had to talk about the show, so I could not do that.
Right.
Versus I'm watching Parasite and I'm doing that in the background, like of actually working, because I haven't decided if I like that or not. But I don't know.
Yeah, we can
That's
get into
yeah,
that
that's
later.
separate. But so I was watching it, but I guess I wasn't like fully, because when I do
fully engaged.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a different point of like when you're like sitting down to watch something, and then like you have that moment of like do I need? Is this a show I need to analyze or not analyze?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
sometimes
and
you just
maybe-
miss that moment
And
of like.
you even said when we were going to like, oh, this is just like a really adorable like
Yeah,
fun
I didn't because I
show,
didn't want
like-
to. I didn't want to like try to explain it more than just like a weird like
You're
friend
just like,
acid trip.
yeah,
'Cause I went
exactly.
into it
You were
so
just like, oh, just like an acid trip.
yeah,
And I was
because
like, oh,
I
cool,
went into
fun
it so
things
blind
to look
originally
at.
too.
Yeah.
So like because when I did tell you that I hadn't watched it yet again.
Mhm.
So like that was just what I remembered.
Right.
So I mean to be fair, I wasn't even like trying to like I just knew that it had some stuff and I was like I want to give it to you as blind as possible because that's how I went into it. I didn't realize until this rewatch of like how much more there was to it.
Mhm.
So I mean it wasn't really even like intentionally like hey. I'm not going to tell you that you
Yeah.
should think about it because you should, but like I
'Cause
didn't know that.
That's why I feel like I didn't get as I mean, granted, I could watch it again and feel exactly the same way. I don't know. Plus, I'm not going to rewatch it again if I'm being honest. Like, maybe one day, but anytime soon, like, I have too many. Like I said, I have 29 things I'm currently, like, watching, and there's still a ton of shows I
29
want.
too many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, it's 28 too many.
No, 29 too many.
Okay,
I
just-
know what
I
I
shouldn't
said.
watch anything.
Yeah.
Just
How
stop.
dare you?
But there's like also so many things I don't want to watch. That I'm like, just because you're saying this, there's nothing bringing me back to be like, you know what, I do want to pick up on those and like I gave it a 7. I thought it was good, but
Right.
like,
Yeah, I mean, I have like other things that I'll go into later once. We
and then
go
like I
off
said
to it,
about
but-
the ending, I just think that it was too rushed. That I think that took away from the show. Like I probably would have given it an 8 if that didn't happen. I wasn't just like what the actual fuck is going on and like that kind of thing. That I feel like they literally just dumped on you.
I definitely think the show could have benefited from like another season or two, in terms of like,
Even a couple episodes.
or even maybe just like a
Yeah, I don't know
couple
about
Yeah.
this- another
total.
12
I don't think
episodes,
two
but I
would
think
be
I
necessary.
think
Maybe one season.
I mean, if you wanted to do like more case of the week stuff while also sprinkling in that supposed philosophy that Mike thinks the show has, but
I'll go into it. I'll tell. I promise you. I
I'm just
promise
busting,
you
I'm
it's
just
there.
busting balls. I'm
I
busting balls.
promise you.
I'm busting balls. But I don't know. I think I think that I agree with Kat that like it was really rushed, the ending, but I feel like it could have
Even if
benefited
it just
for,
had like
some more
3 more episodes,
yeah,
like I
more
feel like it
episodes or,
would
like,
have
another
it would
season
have
or
been
something.
better.
Yeah.
Because it's totally fine to just randomly just drop a ball on you and to go into that. That's totally fine, but I just feel like I didn't get enough of it of like what the Are you okay?
You alright, bud?
Splash.
It
Flashbacks.
drank and it splashed
Oh.
into my eye.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
I'm all
you
good.
got
No,
the
I'm all
shields
good.
on too.
Oh, yeah, I know. I had the shields.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
But I feel like it wasn't enough of it that I'm still kind of confused on it, but not even confused like I need more answers. It's more confused on why didn't they give us more of that? Like I know it's resolved, but like it still kind of feels unresolved
Okay.
to me. That even 2 episodes, 3 episodes like that, like I think it would have given so much more to the show, because I was interested in what happened, like, you know, when they're explaining all that and like with Mimi and everything, but I just feel like it just was too much all at once.
Gotcha.
I feel like if there was more time to kind of develop and like sit with the kind of like insane mentality that Mimi has
Yeah.
for her child.
Well, it was a
Although,
split
did they-
personality.
Right.
Yeah,
But
there
I
was,
mean,
like, pure
I-
illusion had like fractured her mind.
Right. But I mean, like, if we had more time.
I feel like they didn't even explain that well, like the two.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
was
it
it was
popped
more
up.
Yeah.
it was
She was
the-
like,
the-
that's not,
well,
that's
no, no,
the
the way-
crazy Mimi.
I mean,
I'm
like-
the good
I'm
one.
the
What's
good
up,
Mimi.
Salt?
What- I mean-
Long time no see, Salt. Banging
Salt.
as ever.
Let me hold you one last time
Yeah.
and okay.
well,
Yeah.
the
Just like, see you guys.
the split
That's
happened
my
when they
time
took
here.
her
Oh
kid
my
from her.
God.
Right.
And they were like, "All right, cool, we're gonna kill your kid now." And like when they pulled the kid out of her when they were doing that second escape attack.
Whoa, did they imply they were gonna kill her?
Yeah.
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 Really?
Yeah.
They sure
Oh,
did.
They were like,
totally
"Oh, cool,
missed
we're gonna
that.
kill your kid." That's what's made her snap.
Holy fucking shit.
Because
I
that
didn't
then
realize
like
that.
you like you they showed like a fracture in her mind and it was the two hers.
Yeah,
and they
then
were like,
the
yeah, and they were like, "I will protect her. Let
Like,
me in.
let
Let me
me
take
do
over."
this for you.
And that's when
But I
then it
feel like
cuts
they
back and she
still
like
didn't-
explodes.
Because I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
so
No,
much
you're right.
shit happens in like Pure Illusion and everything like that, that it, even though they weren't there, but then, you know, because she's the only one who could go and everything like that, like I feel like it wasn't as like well seen that was supposed to be what that was. When she was like, "Oh, I'll take care of it," I was just like, "Is this still her?" Like I was like, I don't
So
really
the way
know.
that they I think the really interesting way that they show the pure illusion versus the real world is that the the like way that they do the backgrounds is the same for the real world and the pure illusion, because it's always based on someone's psyche, and that you're never thinking about like the things that are like behind you, or like, you know, like the sky and stuff. So it's always drawn kind of the same way, and what's different is the immediate vicinities. And
But I
so
feel
like
like it's-
that's why when she goes in there, she's in like a white room because she's having that instant moment of someone's closing in on me. And she goes in there, and it's just a white room with like that apple or whatever, because it's just like something
The
that
red
like,
apple.
yeah. And then that's like what when the walls fall down is her like breaking out of the thing, because it's the new person that's has more control over the environment. That's why everything then changes to like the like 4-leaf clovers or whatever,
Yeah.
and then that's when she like cuts back in,
Mhm.
because
Well,
that one
yeah.
has more of the power and knowledge.
No, I super liked. If there's one thing, I super like the symbolism there with like the 4-leaf clovers and like the grass and everything, like
Yeah.
the rebirth, like
especially
motif.
when Salt steps
thing.
in and like
Yeah.
everything starts dying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that shit
really
was
like
rad.
that.
That shit was rad as hell.
But yeah, because then I think the implication with the two Mimis is like it's the pure illusion, like the like part of her that snapped basically like became its own thing through pure illusion, because that was the idea.
Oh.
Everyone was seeing that as a
Also,
separate thing.
Like, I just wish that there was even more like Mimi content. I guess like that's what I personally like would have wanted more of, because that's like so kind of interesting and everything, and you know, you only get like little sprinkles of stuff. When
Right.
like I said, I feel like that's the ending episodes was where all the substance was,
right.
or more, and so like that's the kind of thing of what I would have wanted more, because even at the end when, you know, she's fucking batshit crazy and
Right.
come to mommy and all that
Yeah.
that goes on, and she's got like a crocodile face,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, you know, I want to like you, and you keep doing weird shit like this.
Well, yeah, because
I'm
like,
just
it keeps like the illusion of her keeps changing because she's getting more and more evil.
Well,
That's
yeah,
how they're
but that's
viewing her.
that's not what
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
talking
okay, fair
about.
enough.
So, and then at the end when the other Mimi, and then, you know, what's up, Salt, like, and
Yeah.
they're good and everything like that, and then Paprika was like, I was hanging out eating sweets with Mimi, and I'm like, so we're good with Mimi? Like, I thought we were ditching Mimi because Mimi's crazy.
No,
and we're
because they
ditching
should
the
know,
bad
yeah,
Mimi.
the bad
But
one.
both Mimis are
No,
the same?
no. So I believe I don't know this for
It's
for
just,
a
is
fact,
there
but-
actually two of them, or is it a
think of
split
it like Jekyll and
personality?
Hyde. It's like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah,
right?
so but she is one
but because
person.
of pure illusion and how it's based on like how people view the world, basically it separates into two people because they are viewed as two separate entities.
Right.
Because the people in there, Paprika, Salt,
but
Salt,
they
because when
didn't-
she shows up again, like the actual Mimi shows up when Salt appears.
Yeah.
It's because Salt and Paprika have the memory of the real Mimi.
Also,
so
do
she
they-
comes back.
Do they explain why the fuck Paprika's young?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Because
She went through the like that white flash when
Like when
because they said
Mimi
because
takes
Coconut says to her like, "Oh, you were an old woman and you were a baby, but now we're
Because
the same
Mimi
age."
because
and
they've
her-
gone through many versions of like the time
I
loop
just
that
feel
she's
like
put in.
there just
And
wasn't
Mimi is like in her head.
just
kind of a thing.
more needed to be explained there.
Yeah, I
and
mean
that's
that
why I
one's that
feel
one's
like-
more just left ambiguous. It's
And
kind of
just
like I mean they
I
show
feel like
her
this is
de-age.
very
Oh,
but,
I
like,
didn't.
it's
think
meant
it,
to. It's
I
meant
didn't
to,
think it was like
not
a
in
multiple
big-
timeline thing.
Well, no, it's more that like in pure illusion, like she's gone through
Oh, I
like
understand.
like life a
Right.
lot of times. It's
Right.
not that like there's multiple timelines.
I
It's just
understand.
the
So
version
it was
of pure
that she
illusion has
was
gone through stuff.
rebirthed, and that's why she's
No,
young.
it's more like at least from what I got, it's more that like she's just gone through different times of like in that world with a version of Coconut. I believe, in
I
Mimi.
took it as when she jumped into like the white flash,
Yeah,
she's trying to save Coconut from like the evil Mimi.
yeah, because that one
And I-
snapped.
Yeah, and so I think when that happens, like, and then we see her de-aging, I think that's like a reset for herself, if that makes sense. To like,
But see, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is where all the substance was, and they're like, you have less than an hour to get all of this information at fucking once, and like that's it. When
oh, yeah, I think
this
it's definitely.
Yeah, I mean
could
it
have
is a
used
lot.
like way more, because this is the really interesting stuff, where the other was just fun, random acid
Well,
trip, like
so-
whatever's happening.
I think also like one of the best one of the
Okay.
best versions of like the showing of the philosophy thing that I keep talking about is like there's a bunch of it, but the one that is most obvious is whenever the rabbit Yuxkiel goes in, he like turns into
he's
the
like,
buff guy. Yeah.
Wait, no, but at the ending with Yayaka, where they're just like, we're too busy loving each other. Have my rabbit. Like you get to hang out with Yuxkiel. Like when it should have been.
we gotta go
Yuxkiel,
fun.
best boy.
Yeah.
Love
Mhm.
Yuxkiel,
Yeah,
but
he's
like
a cutie.
he's one of the most like obvious versions of the one of the like the philosophies that's shown in the show, which is I don't know all like the things. I haven't looked it up, but like self-perception that like because when he goes in, that's how he views himself.
Right.
So like that's why he changes. So then it's all based on like that shows most heavily what pure illusion is that it's showing your own self.
I thought that's how. I didn't
Dude,
even
Pure
realize
Illusion is
that.
just Silent Hill with extra steps.
Honestly.
Like straight up.
I
So
saw
I
it
feel
really
bad. I feel
There's
like
there's
Colin
also-
hasn't gotten to say anything.
Yeah, but there's a lot of also like
All right, rip Colin.
Asian and stuff. Anyway, well, because I thought we were going around.
Yeah.
We were, but
Yeah, we were
then
going
and then
Yeah.
we weren't, and then we kept
We
coming
still
back.
are. It's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
a cat.
Yeah, don't worry. We still have half.
Yeah, we're
half
we're-
left.
Do we
we're
want
rock-
to go to
There's
We're
anything?
rocking out.
Yeah.
Or do you got anything else to say?
No, but the last thing I was gonna say is I didn't realize that it was self-perception. I thought that's how Coconut viewed him.
Oh no,
Because like she had no one, you know what I mean?
Right.
But she always had Yuxkiel, so I, kind of like that.
I think it's a bit of both,
hero-esque.
probably.
Okay.
But I think it's supposed to mostly be self-perception, but I mean it could probably be viewed as both. But the idea was based on, again, I don't really know all, like I don't research philosophy, but it was based on like some philosophy that like Yuxkiel's named after, that is about any creature has its own self-identity. And so I believe it's supposed to be what he views himself as. It could be what Coconut views him as. Either way,
Go.
you can go. Oh boy.
Well. No, Mike, I'm actually going to surprise you because I didn't hate this as much as you think I do.
So
Okay.
are we in the correct order?
What?
Potentially?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
see. Let's
probably.
find
Yeah.
out.
All right. So, okay. I think, so again, I'm purely speaking from someone who has not seen a bunch of anime. So if I'm missing out on tropes or whatever, talk to me about it. Whatever. So
You witnessed so many tropes in that
I'm
one
sure
episode.
I'm sure I did. I witnessed.
That's all you
No, but
need.
here's the thing. I witnessed tropes that are in like regular
Well,
movies,
yeah.
like too.
But
So
like
it's
literally that one episode where they're going through the different love things, that's
Yeah.
like 50 billion tropes of like shows in
Right.
in an episode.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. So Flip Flappers was just like fine to me. Like it was like you know how you said it was like slightly above mid tier. I think it's like slightly below mid tier for me. Like I think it's just like
Serviceable.
completely fine. It was serviceable.
We're going in the
So
correct order.
so visually. This was spectacular. This was like absolutely incredible. I love the animation. You're right. The fight scenes are fucking out of this world. I think all of the like the armor designs and like the designs of like the enemies and stuff like that, like especially that like Transformers episode one in the Neon City, which is
Yeah.
like hello, my aesthetic. Like that was incredible. Like that was I think that was my favorite episode out of the bunch, if I'm being real. So yeah, visually it's like I think it's spectacular. Where my main problems lie with it is I think this show has like so many fucking cliches that like I kind of like rolled my eyes like all right, and also
But
the
I
show
feel
is
like
kind of
anime
boring.
is very like that.
Yeah,
there's
that is
just
true.
always
It depends
a
on the
lot
show.
of-
It does depend on the show,
guess.
but it is
Yeah.
quite frequent.
Yeah.
All right, say what you
But
will.
no, yeah, but go ahead.
If I'm gonna bring it back to Evangelion like I usually do, Evangelion I feel like is a show that doesn't rely on a lot of cliche.
Well, because it started a lot of them.
I was
That is,
gonna
oh
say.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
true.
like it started so many cliches.
That is true. I mean, I feel like Cowboy Bebop doesn't have a lot of cliche either.
It also started a lot.
Did it really? Am I just fucking?
Well, that's
We're
because
way behind on
you
everything
your like knowledge of anime
Yeah, but I'm
It's
going
from,
on
like,
perception
before
of
coming
it.
into this
Yeah.
is like
The big
two
ones.
shows that people consider to be absolute masterpieces
Yeah.
that help popularize anime in like the West.
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah,
Well,
and in
that'll do
general,
it.
like,
Yeah.
it blew,
That'll do
it blew up
Right.
anime. So like, a lot of tropes that you see now, like, come from those shows,
Right.
Because they're trying to like be like the show.
Mhm.
Right.
So okay, so if I was to like summarize Flip Flappers in like one thought, I would say like it's a show that I don't feel. It's a show that like is not essential, but I'm glad it exists. Mostly because I really enjoyed, like the I guess homosexual representation of coconut and
Poppycock.
pumpkin.
Or Papikana, if you want to go full
Papikana
name.
and Paprika. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I
Paprika, salts.
really enjoyed.
I think they might all actually be like.
What would coconut be though?
I think it might be a
Coconut?
Japanese thing.
What?
I might be wrong, but I think they might all be. I could be wrong though.
I don't know.
No,
But
I,
anyway.
look,
So-
I love my ship of pumpkin spice Corona.
pumpkin and Corona.
Pumpkin and Corona.
Cocaine and poopsicle. Yeah. No.
Oh no. It's getting worse.
No, it's just reaching at this point. But all right. So like starting out, I thought the show was like kind of boring. If I'm being real, like I fell asleep multiple times watching the show. Like even before it got like good. So I think overall, I think its strongest asset is its visuals. I really do. I think
it reaches its peak in the episode that we've talked about a little earlier, which is the episode 6 or whatever, the one with the painter girl, where it's all
Yeah,
it's
I
all
wanna
a
talk about
deep
that
dive
episode.
psyche.
I want to talk about that episode because
Is
that
that the one with
episode.
the creepy children? No.
No, it's the one where they
No.
switch between each other.
Yes.
One's orange,
Yeah,
one's blue.
with
Yeah.
the
Creepy
granny.
Children was like
yeah,
four.
yeah,
talking
okay.
about the
Yeah.
senpai.
Mhm.
It's super good at that.
I really want to talk about that
psychological
episode because
thing.
it's simultaneously my favorite episode and simultaneously my least favorite episode of the whole thing.
Okay.
Because that episode is all friggin' build up and no release, and it's the worst. But anyway, so
I love
starting
it.
out,
Isn't
I
the
love- I love
release
it
that
for
she's
that.
dead?
Yeah, I love it for that. Because it's just the person's life. There
this
is
isn't-
no
This
release.
Yeah.
is not the show.
No,
this
that's
is
why
not
I
the show
liked
that
it.
can pull that off.
Well, no, because
I guess
the
that's
reason it
fair.
does that is because they go into that place. It's supposed to be not like the rest of the things you've seen because they are actively going into something they shouldn't be in.
Yeah, but this is establishing a character that like is supposedly important, and then they do absolutely nothing with for the rest of the show.
That's
Well, but-
also true.
Yes, they do
Mhm.
do that, but I
Ooh, I like
and
this
I
heated
can't
debate.
really I can't really like I guess defend that aspect, but I think it's mostly just to set up that thing that like because then it comes back to it later
No, I
on.
understand it's setting up
It's-
a
yeah.
concept, but like I understand it's setting up a concept, and and it does that successfully. But not including that character in the concept, I feel like is a disservice to that character in general. Because I felt that that's my favorite episode because I thought she was the most interesting. I thought that, like you said before, self-perception and stuff like that.
Right.
I thought the fact that Coconut and Paprika.
Papika.
I thought
Paprika.
You're so close.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's white noise at this point. They say their
Papikana.
names so many times that I just tuned it out.
It's literally
They could just be saying,
it's
like,
so
the-
much.
yeah, it's ridiculous. But
Hey you.
Paprika
But I
and
do think it's
Coconut,
cute every time they say their name. It's like the like names sound so cute.
to
all
an
of them.
extent.
No, I thought
They
they
do say it a lot. I agree, but like I
I
do
was like,
think
it's too much.
yeah, no, I
Yeah.
agree, but I do think it's I don't know. Anyway,
It's
I-
annoying.
but-
It's
but-
like points.
Here's
It's
the thing,
also
here's the
wait, sorry, one
Poor
little
Anthony.
thing. It's not important at all, but like it's just a weird thing because you hear the two of them talk and they're very famous like voice actors, and at first I was thinking Black Star and Uraraka, but now I'm watching Parasite like right after, and it's like the girl he likes and the hand are them, and I'm like, what the fuck is
Oh my
going
god,
on?
are they
And it-
really?
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
messing with me. But
It's
go
al-
on.
it's also
yeah.
Mikasa from
Migi.
a
Is
certain
that
No,
her
I
Psychic
didn't watch
Index.
Parasite.
Is,
Or, I
who
mean, a
watched
certain-
Parasite? Is it Migi?
Yeah.
Is that the
Migi.
hand's name?
Migi, yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay,
That's
Anthony.
Paprika.
That's
Yeah.
that's
I've
really
started
funny.
to
And then
by the way.
wait, Popka, and then who's Coconut?
Coconut is the girl he likes.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah. So you gotta listen to them all the time, and I'm like, this is too much for me.
Anyway.
But anyway, no, yeah, I thought that's my favorite episode because I really like how they handled Iro. Iroa? How do you say her name? Iro?
Oh, the painter,
Iro?
the painter.
Not Iro. Yeah, it's senpai.
Iro.
Iro?
I just remember it as
Iro.
senpai.
It was
I don't know.
IRO. So I think it's
Iro.
Iro.
It's probably
Iro.
Iro.
Yeah. Iro.
I think.
Oh, by the way, the painting that they
I'm
look
just trying
at
to
in the
think of how
hallway,
they were
like the one at
crying
the
it. Yeah, it was
forest,
Iro.
comes up in the
Yeah, Iro.
in episode 11 or 12.
Yeah, they go into it, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a painting of the scene when like I guess Mimi's like defeated or whatever, and she's in the that lake.
Yeah.
That's the woods.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the painting
No,
of that
I
woods.
actually did notice it. That was really cool. But yeah, no, I really liked the fact that like Paprika and Coconut were experiencing.
You did it.
I really like the fact that they experienced Iro's memories through pure illusion.
Yeah.
Pure illusion.
And the way they shift between it.
And the way they shift,
colors
exactly, and the way they
oh.
shift between perspectives I thought was super, super well done. It's just I understand the fact that that episode was introducing a concept that would later affect how the season
Right.
went. But I just wish that Senpai got more screen time to like fully flesh out how that concept affected her.
Right.
Because literally all it was oh, Senpai's acting different now.
Nail
And then-
polish.
Yeah, no, exactly. Nail polish.
Yeah.
No, Senpai's acting different now. We should do something about it. And then they do it, and then Senpai never shows up again.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
what's the ramification of this?
I do agree that it would have been way better to see more of her, but I also, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, like, once that happens, then she spends an episode or two being like, we have to fix her, and then after that, it's just the ramp up of like, they lose the time to like get back to that because they're all constantly running back between the whatever the hell that cult was. That's the name I'm forgetting. Like between the cult.
the KKK.
Yeah, sure.
Close
They're-
enough.
they're
I mean,
Effectively, yeah.
let's be real. Like
They're dealing with like fuck, what's the friend's name? Yayaka and that group and stuff that like
Yeah.
now like they don't have the time to go back to that character because now it's like constantly
I
jumping.
feel
and that's
like
just
it
a
was-
writing problem.
Yeah, like I feel like
That's
that was
absolutely a
just
writing
something that
problem.
was just
Also
they're
love
just like,
Yayaka.
meh.
I also like it.
I like Ayaka.
Yayaka, in my opinion, is like she's like so in between like hating them and loving them at the same time that like
Well,
you
she's
can't-
always loved
she's
Coconut.
like super
Yeah, because it started out. It's the cliche of it started as a mission,
yeah, but
but
here's
then I
the thing,
grew
like
to
she
like her.
beats
Yeah.
the shit out of Coconut or like insults her on the battlefield like all the time.
Well, yeah, because
and then when
she's-
Because
they're
she
in the
has
race
to
trying
in
to
front
lie
of
to
the
herself.
twins. Yeah, in front of the twins.
Yeah, because she
trying to lie to her. Oh,
Because
yeah, that's right.
she
Yeah.
needs to be doing it for, which also I feel like they didn't touch on that enough on why.
I
like-
also felt the
Oh, the,
same about
That's
it.
the
why-
incestuous relationship between the twins.
The twins, yeah.
Absolutely.
No.
they're having-
No.
No.
Anthony,
You said that
An-
before.
no, Anthony,
Yeah.
Anthony,
Not what I was
that's just
talking about.
anime.
I didn't get
Yeah,
that
that
at
is
all,
it.
though.
Yeah.
No, because we were watching them together, and like they were like the twins were like walking down the street holding hands, and Colin was like, "Yeah, they're fucking," and I was like, "Yeah, they are fucking."
That was actually one of the only animes that I don't pick up.
Yeah,
by that.
I did not get that at all.
Yeah, like this is actually
I'm
one of the
just
ones
joking.
that I was
Like,
just
I
Especially
don't-
because like,
I
that,
Wow,
like
they
she's
have-
like that a genuine concern that she gets
Yeah.
later on
Yeah.
when he's like injured, and that's what starts making her be like, I don't want to listen to these people.
Yeah,
anymore.
No,
I,
yeah, I know,
I
I know,
thought
no,
that
I-
they.
No, I know.
That
I
was
was just joking
correct.
around.
Like
Like,
that.
I know they're not like doing.
No,
it. I know.
it was
wasn't
like-
But
even
yeah,
that.
she's lying to herself basically.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
mean, she thinks she believes it.
Wait, so she was she also created, or they just took her because
Yayaka?
she was
No, I
an
think she was
orphan?
also.
No,
Are
she
we
was
talking
like
about Yayaka?
bought
No,
in,
no,
right?
she was a person.
Yeah,
But
she was, like-
they were doing like
I feel like they also
Yeah.
didn't like touch enough onto that, and like,
I
just
love how
feel
they
like
introduced that blue-haired girl, and it comes, it like it doesn't.
Oh yeah,
lead to
look
in
at
a
her
anything.
little
like that.
fucking
Are you
thong.
kidding me?
She's like
Yeah.
8,
Just there.
just
Yeah.
in a thong.
Just
and
Well,
I'm like,
because
was
they're
she
not
a
thong.
robot?
I think she. No, she was not. I think she was also.
She was created.
What? Yeah. Right.
Oh,
I feel like her
Yeah.
character kind of
She's
ended up
the
just kind of
younger
being
Because they
sister
said
of
that
the
she-
twins.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they said that they was the third, so she kept calling her big sister, and she was like,
Right.
"Stop calling." me
Yeah, but
that."
then they
Right.
call but then she calls Yayaka big sister. 'Cause
the
then she's
second
like,
after, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but because it's different. She's like, no, you can't call me that, but she is mine.
I,
But I don't know. Like, yeah, they don't really do anything with her, but I do enjoy her character. I think she's kind of fun.
Nunu?
I think she's kind of fun.
I don't
She doesn't
like-
add much.
You
but, like, I think
remember
she's
her
fun.
name?
I do. Yeah, I don't know. Because she said
You
it. all
mean
of it, she's like,
Nunu?
Because,
They
yeah,
say
because-
Paprika and
I
Coconut
know,
all the time.
but it was white noise. She appeared like 2 episodes, so I knew her name. And then Paprika and Coconut were like, Paprika, Coconut,
Exactly.
Coconut. I'm like, all right, I get it. Her
Yeah.
name is Coconut. All right, it's fine.
All
I
right.
get it.
But I don't know. I think like yes, there were a lot of things like with the characters that they didn't really touch on much. But like I feel like even with what we got, like I was happy with what we got. I would have liked more. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But like what we got didn't feel like it was like enough for me to be able to fill in my own blanks,
Mhm.
kind of thing. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No, yeah, that makes
Like whether or not like you felt the same, that's I guess like your own thing. But for me, it was like especially that girl that they like the Mew Mew or New New or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they like there should have been something with her, but like what I got, I was like, you know what, like the story doesn't have the time, and maybe you shouldn't have introduced the character at that point. But
Yeah,
I think it's a driving point for Yayaka and the girls to realize Yayaka knows that she's just a pawn. That her showing up, the twins then realize that they don't
But I
care
feel
about
like
them.
what I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like what Anthony's like briefing on and kind of like what you're talking about is they're introducing these characters a little bit too much, because of course side characters exist and that's
Yeah.
totally fine
Right.
that they come and go, but they're doing it a little bit too much, so you expect more and then you never get
No,
it.
Yeah,
I
like that
agree.
they're
kind of
giving
thing.
us too much information about her anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
and then nothing happens.
yeah,
yeah,
with
exactly.
I
it.
look at it more
it's like
as
they all front load, because
Yeah.
that's the thing. Front load, like Flip Flappers front loads all of its like plot threads, all of its exposition. Until no, not its exposition, because that comes at the end. But like it front loads all of its like everything besides exposition in like the first like 5 or 6 episodes.
yeah, because those episodes are more just exposition through visual.
Yeah.
Because they don't even explain pure illusion; they just jump into it and you learn as
Yeah.
you go.
But I don't
And
think
I
you
feel like
need to
episode
explain
transitions
pure
are like super like non-contextual and out of place as well, because like the end of one episode happens and then in the beginning of another episode we're like fucking thrown in balls deep into
Oh
like,
yeah, because
another
there's the end of the episode
plot
right
thread.
before the horror one, where it's they're on a beach having a fun time, and then
Yeah.
the immediate next
and I'm
episode
like,
is the
what's
horror
going
episode.
on? Like, how did we get in this pickle?
But I do agree that with the characters that they definitely could do more. I guess when I'm looking at like that girl specifically, I look at it more as, okay, cool. Like I wish there was more to understand about you, but like you're here as the driving force for the characters I do like. Again, like I said, it
But
makes
then
Yayaka
also,
realize she's
Yayaka
expendable.
doesn't have enough about her. I don't know. So like I just feel like
Yeah, again, the only thing we know about Yayaka is the hospital thing,
Yeah.
that she's like pretends to be Coconuts'
Yeah, and then
friend.
she learns to be her friend, like actually,
and then
that
she
shit,
gets
yeah.
Yuxul and no
And then,
friendship.
yeah, no friendship at all.
But when
So-
she does
No,
get a
no
transformation, her
girlfriend.
like
Piece of shit.
the fucking like power boots or whatever, that shit was pretty fucking rad.
Yeah. But going back to what you were saying
Yeah,
before
yeah.
about like subtext and like philosophy and all that stuff, I really enjoyed I don't think there was like it was like explicit subtext, but I think just like the development of like the relationship between Coconut and Papika was really well done in terms of like them like learning to like them realizing their feelings for each other and loving each other and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I don't know how like LGBTQ representation is done in anime, because like I haven't seen much of it.
Sometimes it's not great.
Yeah, sometimes
lot
it's
of
very-
That's
times.
the same, but
a lot
that's
of
the-
times it's
a lot
not
of
But
great.
times
that's the
it's really
same. That's
poor.
the same with American media too.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of like bullshit out there too with like representation.
Boy,
amongst-
can it be worse.
Yeah.
I'm sure it could be.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how it's done mostly with anime. I haven't personally seen any like LGBTQ focused anime in. This is really actually I think
There's
the
some
first one
really
I've
good
ever
ones
seen.
though.
Yeah.
There's, like
You will see a trope that comes up a lot.
Mhm.
That is the like over effeminate guy.
Uh-huh.
That's the worst. Is just every gay male character is
Well, I
just,
feel
yeah.
I feel
A
like
lot
you
of
see
times
a
they
lot
like
of
they
that
become a
in
mentor though.
American
That's kind of
media
cool.
too.
But like it is overused and in a very stereotypical way.
Yeah, it's like gay jokes you see in like 90s movies. Like that
Oh,
very
God.
offhanded, quick
Yeah.
gay joke of like, ooh, that made me uncomfortable
Yeah.
because he's gay, and it's like
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
the only thing the character ever does.
But I think they do it naturally in this show.
No, that's what I was
No,
gonna
there's
say.
a
Like,
bunch
I
of
really
shows where it's
enjoyed,
very natural.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I really enjoyed the relationship and how it develops between, because like you could tell that like Papika was like kind of like love struck from the start. Like as
Yeah,
soon as she saw
immediately.
Coconut, like immediately like kind of like into that. And I was like, oh, that's kind of refreshing, because like usually like it takes like a little bit to like have like build these characters up and then have them intersect at some point. Whereas like Papika was like crushing on Coconut from the start, which I thought was a really interesting perspective. And then like watching that relationship like grow and develop and stuff like that, because like Papika's like simping for her the entire time,
And they do
Coconut,
it, and they also
and-
do it well through their designs
Yeah.
too. Because Pocono is designed in a very like straight mannered, like closed off
For
way,
sure,
where
for
Papika
sure.
is designed way
She's
more
very
openly
repressed.
and like
Yeah.
and knowing herself and like animalistic in a way that she knows what she wants, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And like and that was something that I really enjoyed about it, was that like it was like the huge difference in between personalities, and how like them learning to accept their differences like kind of like comes together and intersects into like this nice like naturally like blooming relationship, which I thought was really cool to see. So I guess one thing that I do, I guess the thing that I do really like about this, I thought the characters were cool. Especially mostly Papika and Coconut, because I thought their relationship was so well done that it lent a lot of development to them as people. And like that's something I really liked about it, where I thought the writing kind of shined, was that the development of their relationship also affected the development of their characters. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like Coconut being like super repressed and like finding out who she really is and like accepting herself like who she really is. Because like what you were saying before, where, like with Pure Illusion is like a super like self acceptance, like self
It's a reflection of
of yourself, right? And like her spending more time in it, like helps her understand who she's becoming. And then at the end, when she gets like the bridal battle armor and Papika gets the bridal battle armor, like that's kind of like the catalyst of like them figuring out who, because like Papika I feel like is a character that like already knows who she is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like with Coconut, like watching that like that entire experience develop throughout the series was a super interesting thing that I personally really liked. That's the thing that like made me keep coming back to it, because like I wanted to see what happened with Coconut next and how like she developed and stuff like that. Now something about that I didn't like was all the nudity, because my god, there's a lot of it in this, and they are middle school children.
They're in high school.
They're in high school? I thought they were middle school.
I'm pretty sure they're.
Aren't they middle school? Mike, are they middle school or high
They
school?
were doing, in like the first episode, they're doing career paths, so I'm gonna guess
Isn't
high
that
school.
high school? That's
Either
usually
way,
high school.
kind of oh well, I guess if they're doing
That happens a lot, by the way, in most anime.
Yeah, that's
I don't
pretty.
know.
Welcome to anime.
They
Yeah,
were
welcome
very-
to anime, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry.
they're very small middle high schoolers, if I'm being real.
Well, yeah, I think that's just the art design. Colin, I don't know if you want to look up how old they are, or do we not want to know?
Nah.
Yeah, I feel
You know, let's
yeah,
just not know.
No, let's know.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah, let's
I
not
want to
know.
know.
I believe they're in high school though, because they're doing
Okay.
career
Middle
paths.
in high school.
Middle school. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So-
damn it.
Second year middle school.
Fuck.
I
Yeah.
feel
That's
like
like-
that
Okay,
happens
well,
all the
12
time.
or
sorry, but
13
welcome to
years
anime.
old.
Yeah, no, that's the worst. But what was it? What else was I gonna say?
At least I would say it was never, in terms of the nudity, it was never sexually sexual. There were more. There were more.
No,
Comfortable,
there
though.
was
There
like
was more fan
There was
service
also
shots of
sexual.
clothes
Yeah.
than there
and
like
that's the thing too.
but-
It's like all the fan service in this,
the
like,
transformations were a
absolutely-
lot more like.
all the fan service in this like took me out of key moments, I think, because like the stuff with like when they were swimming, when they were swimming, that's the episode when they go to the Neon City, right?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Like all of the fucking ass shots and like them like the pan up or like the
Yeah.
tilt ups of like Papika's body and stuff, like I was like uncomfortable.
Anthony,
Like it was straight
Yeah,
up.
that's
if
anime,
I
I'm
if I can
sorry.
be honest,
Be honest
at
with me.
some point you will actually just tune that out.
It doesn't
Because
take
if
that
I'm
long.
being
no.
completely
It
honest,
really doesn't.
It'll
If
be
I'm
in
being
every
honest.
show you
if
watch.
I'm
Yeah,
being
you'll
completely
get
honest,
no.
I'm
Here's the
like
thing,
sitting
though.
here
Like,
actively
I would've
thinking
been- I
about
would've
what
been
shots
okay
you're
with
talking
it.
about because I'm
I
not
would've
sure.
been okay
I
with
know
it
a
if like
couple of
they were
them,
of
but
Yeah,
like
Anthony.
I can't really
You
think
know
of
how
all of them
like
either.
in American media, it's like she's 18, time to show her off and
Yeah.
like get all the this
Starts
is
at 12 years old here.
Yeah, their legal age is
Low-
14.
Yeah.
So basically every character's 14.
Yeah.
Usually the
Usually
lowest.
They're
is
in middle
14.
school at 14.
Yeah,
We're
that's
in
like,
middle school
uh,
at 14.
14's like
No, we
your-
were
Oh
in
no,
grade
their school system's
I
a
was
lot.
14 in
freshman
8th
year.
grade.
I wasn't 14 until sophomore year.
because you were younger
What?
than us.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean that you guys should be freshmen?
Also, their school
No,
system,
wait,
their
Colin,
school
were
system
you
is set
not-
up
I was
differently.
14 in 8th
Eighth
grade.
grade.
Colin's
Me
almost
too.
2 years older than me,
No,
though. So, like,
I am basically the way my school system worked was I started the year at the age that everyone would effectively end the year,
yes.
So
which was 14 in 8th grade.
yeah, because
So
I was
they're
14 in 8th
so
grade.
they're probably 13.
Just
Hate
shut
it.
Okay.
Thank you for making this worse.
Look,
Sorry.
Exponentially
It
I'm
makes you
worse.
feel
You're
better.
good-
I was in high school at that age. If you're like
Anthony,
some
I'm
people,
sorry, but
some
it's
people
just
are.
how it's just anime.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
that's
sorry,
That's
bud.
not the
Yeah.
show. It's just anime.
I mean, I don't know if you can even count that as like a criticism. Well, I mean, you can
mean,
count
you
the
can.
you
Yeah,
can
of
count the
course.
excessive fan service as criticism.
yeah, I
'cause
mean,
that
like,
got
yeah,
annoying.
It was
that
excessive.
that you can do,
Kind of.
but it is just a
It was
thing
a
of
bit. It
anime.
was a little excessive. I don't know.
I don't think you've
for
seen
me, I
fan
guess, from
service yet.
Stuff that I've
Like,
seen.
I would say
Watch Food Wars.
minus the like the
Well, here's the
screenshot.
thing, right?
I
Like,
was
I
just
haven't.
like,
I feel like I
done.
haven't
Get
seen a
this
lot of
trash
anime
out of
that
my
has like
face.
explicit fan service like
Yeah,
that.
once you start watching like
Watch
general
Elliot
one
has
anime,
a-
episode of DxD.
no. Once you get, once I
It's
mean,
over.
It
That's
is.
it.
Yep.
you say you want to
Yep.
watch Food Wars. That's the entire show.
I do. Food Wars is on
Yeah.
Netflix,
But,
so I
like,
might just
yeah.
like do a little
But
headphone action.
like it's just in a lot of anime, and I will say
You gotta
minus
make sure you're in a
But,
dark
yeah,
room.
make sure-
Sit in your
Gonna
closet.
Gonna rent a motel room. Put headphones. Oh shit. Put headphones on and then watch it.
but
Yeah.
minus
Close
like,
the blinds, like-
the swimming pool episode that like I do remember
After
that.
this, Colin needs to talk.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
we go
poor
back.
I do
Colin.
remember that, but
I'm
like,
sorry.
No one's
it-
giving me
a lot of
chance.
it, a lot of it comes out through like the Magical Girl transformations, but I think that's also just a lot of Magical Girl
It
Yeah,
is.
but I feel like that
transformations.
doesn't count because they literally don't put anything on them.
Well,
That's
all
also
I'm
just
gonna
kind of
say
like
one
how
final
all
thing.
the nudity
Girl
doesn't have anything on them
transformations
either.
I feel bad. I feel, but Colin wants to talk, so I'm gonna
guess.
say one final thought, and then we'll move on to Colin. Okay, so I feel like overall, I feel like Madoka Magica kind of spoiled me because Madoka Magica was phenomenal. Like that show was incredible. But the thing
You're
is, that
welcome.
show is thank you. But the thing is, that show is like kind of like a deconstruction of the magical girl genre, much like how like Dark Knight Returns is a deconstruction of like the entirety of the superhero genre, kind of. Or
Right.
Watchmen is a
Watchmen's a good
deconstruction of
example,
the
yeah.
entirety of the superhero genre, right?
Yeah.
So like I feel like Madoka Magica spoiled me in the sense where I just feel like everything is just like a tier above in Madoka Magica than it is here. So like I guess it's that kind of like whiplash of going from like such like a highly regarded, because correct me if I'm wrong, Sage, Madoka Magica is like a super beloved property in Japan, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like going from something that's like super beloved and super critically acclaimed and something that I personally thought was absolutely fantastic to another magical girl show that has like a similar premise, right? Of like when they defeat monsters, they get these crystals, and
Right.
these crystals like activate something that is like catastrophic or good, right? So like going from Madoka Magica to Flip Flappers was like kind of like a whiplash for me, because like as I was watching Flip Flappers when I was awake, I'm kidding. As I was watching Flip Flappers, like I was just seeing things like, oh, okay, like Madoka Magica I feel like did this a lot better, or Madoka Magica I feel like this was not animated better, but like this was handled better in Madoka Magica, or the subtext was more prevalent here in Madoka Magica. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like maybe that's not a fair comparison, but I just feel that like Flip Flappers, while it is a solid show, it's okay. I feel like if I was to just like if like somebody came up to me and was like, hey, you got a magical girl show for me, because you know how normal
Right.
people talk, right? They were like, hey, you got a magical girl show for me? I'd be like, yeah, Madoka Magica. Like I wouldn't give this one a second thought.
But
You know what I mean?
To be fair, I did forget this was a magical girl
I
show.
never even thought about this as a magical girl
Really?
anime. Yeah, like even like I never even compared the two, which I think is like interesting that
Really?
like that didn't even like pop in my head. I guess because so much of the show isn't that.
Because like I was seeing a lot of like similar tropes in between. Like I'm sorry.
What's up?
R.I.P.
last time,
Colin.
I
To
promise,
be
last
fair,
time.
he could have chimed in when
He
all
really
of us,
could
yeah,
have.
But
He
he
was
was
just
too
deciding not
He
to.
doesn't want to like interrupt.
Nah.
No, here's the thing, right?
Somebody
Like,
was
I
talking to me today about how I crosstalk a little too much.
No. That was only no. Crosstalk
now
is
you just didn't say
crosstalk
anything?
is different than interrupting.
I don't know the difference.
No, because-
no. Don't worry. I was totally just jabbing at
Okay.
you for fun. Here, let me give you my opinions on Flip Flappers.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
done.
God.
Flip Flappers was just okay. There you go. Uh-oh.
Fucking didn't like this show. This show fucking sucked.
The correct
No, we
order.
did it! We did it! Let's go! We did it!
Fuck! Oh my god, I was so. I'm sorry, Mike. This show is so pretty to look at. I'm gonna start with positives. The animation is very good. The art is very good. I really like the background style. I thought it was really cool, and like every time I looked at it, I was like, this is really pleasant to look at. I was so goddamn bored watching it. I wanted to turn it off constantly. I'm sorry.
Dude, the amount of times I fell asleep watching this show.
I
was so
constantly sat there being like, I could read Jujutsu Kaisen, and I watched the last episode right before we started recording because I kept stopping and reading Jujutsu Kaisen.
I have a question.
Hey, what's your question?
So all of your positives is just
The art?
the visuals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Yeah, the characters I didn't like.
I like how
Did you
Sage
like
is,
a
Sage is the one that goes,
character?
let Colin talk. Hold on, I have a question. Let me interrupt
Yeah,
you.
no, she
Ask
raised
permission.
her hand. Yeah, she
I-
did not interrupt him
I
at
raised
all.
my hand. I was very polite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
Way to go.
incredibly
Thank
Way to
polite.
go.
Yep.
Anyway.
It was I just like I didn't like the show.
Did you like a character?
Yeah, like
Cornucopia and Pumpkin were really boring to me. Cornucopia and
This is
Pumpkin
literally just
like,
Thanksgiving.
The corn on the cob was a really great
Got salt.
character.
Corn on the cob was just sitting here like, I don't like you, Baka, and Poppy and Poppy was just like, I am the animalistic
am
anime.
gay.
I'm the gay
Hey.
animalistic anime character who sniffs to get around because that's not a trope that's getting old anytime soon.
Yikes.
I'm sorry. It's just like I don't know. I just like how I constantly
He
sat there and I'm like
looks so upset.
I see the undertones. I see that there's more to this. I see that there's stuff in the story. There was little moments I liked, like when they first opened up the robot and they saw the brain. I was like, huh, that's a good gag.
Yeah, I remember we saw that. We were like,
Yeah.
holy shit. Like, that was
they're
crazy.
just staring at it for a second and then
They
freak
stare at it
out.
for a
I
second.
was
they-
staring at it for a second. I was like, oh my god, what is that?
And at the end of the day, I just sat there and I was like, okay, I got another episode. All right. I didn't like the show. It was like, it was less than mid. It was.
What did you rate it?
I didn't rate it. I think I would give it a 4, maybe a 5. Because
That's
the
what I would give
animation's
it.
good.
I
I'm
think
gonna
that's
give
what
it
I
like a
gave
5.
your show, so like it happens.
Yeah.
What was your show?
Welcome to the
You
anime.
can't even
Oh.
I can't. Putting those on the same
That was so
plane.
bad.
Putting those
God,
on
I'm
the
I
same
like that
group.
show.
No,
liked
you're
it.
wrong.
No, I still
I
like
like
it.
that show
Yeah.
quite a lot.
Look,
I-
I want to establish to our live studio audience that just because we don't like each other's shows isn't a reflection of like our personal beliefs.
Yeah,
in
me and
that.
Anthony hate each other, but
I
we make it
fucking
work.
yeah, I know. I cannot stand Mike, but like we
I had
make
to
it
stop
work.
him from stabbing him the other day.
Yeah, me and Anthony. We get off this podcast. We,
Yeah.
we don't look at each other. We don't talk.
Yeah,
It's
sorry. Yeah, we're
purely
like fucking,
professional.
Off camera, they're
hands on
like in
sight.
separate
We're like
rooms.
Simon and Garfunkel. Whenever we get off stage, we just like put sunglasses on and go to like separate limos and walk. Like,
Never interact ever. It's purely professional. It's
yeah,
all an
100%.
act. We
It's all
hate
an-
each
yeah,
other.
Cannot stand this man. I love you, Mike.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck you.
Go on,
You
Colin.
can't just. It's the same thing. Like it's the same issue I had with Evangelion, where it's like you can't put plot in the last 3 episodes and expect me to forgive the rest of the show and say like, oh, it was so look how they put like tiny little thing in this one episode and then a tiny little thing in this episode and then the plot in the last 3 episodes. And I do know that there was more to it than that, and I didn't care. I constantly was just watching it like, I've got a gotcha game on my
Yeah,
phone.
but you can't-
I
Is
can
it- was
play.
it-
I didn't
The
want
thing
to.
is, you can't think of it in that way that there is better things to watch, because there was, and I was waiting to finish to watch, do anything, something else, but I still enjoyed the show.
No, it wasn't like I was like, oh, I could be doing something else right now.
Well,
I
that's
just,
what
I
you
sat.
keep saying.
Do you think
I
it's
No,
like,
because I sat down and I watched it and I finished the episode. I was like, yeah, I just don't,
Mhm.
I don't care for this show.
do you think it's because it like didn't like capture your attention
Yeah,
fast
was it like
enough?
just not something you personally like? Like, is it just not a genre you're about, or
No,
whatever?
like shoujo's fine. I don't know what else you would exactly call it.
Apparently Magical Girl.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I that didn't bother me. It was just like watching it and being like, you know, we got to the Mad Max episode and I was like, okay, the visuals are cool. I like the monsters. I kind of like what's going on, but I'm still just bored watching it. I still just did not enjoy watching it. I didn't want to continue watching it. I was constantly thinking to myself, I'd rather be doing something else.
You know what I think it might be too? It's paced really poorly.
It
yeah.
is.
It's really poorly paced. So I think that might be it.
That
too.
Yeah.
because it feels like you're missing information.
For
every
sure.
And it
episode.
was
For
also
sure.
it just felt flat. It's like, okay, we have Paprika and we have Coconut, but then it's like, okay, they go back to the Flip Flappers HQ and those characters are 2-dimensional.
Oh, so
Completely.
that's a perfect example of having side characters that you don't need
Yeah.
anything like more of.
Dude, I straight up do not know the girl's name.
Yeah, no,
The
I
girl-
don't know.
Salt's
But
assistant's
then,
The girl,
yeah,
the
but then at
scientist,
the end
and
they,
Salt
like,
I had to
were
look
just
up.
like
No, but I
simping
like
over
them.
Salt, and I was just like, where are you coming from?
I
They're
like
like,
them.
get back into
And
like
I also
headquarters.
like that
I don't know what
she
She
you're
patched
doing.
him up one time.
Yeah.
She wrapped his arm with the
Yeah,
bandage.
cute.
That's
Yeah,
what
She
Oh,
was
she
trying to
does.
win him over.
And she was
right
one
then.
of the last people we see in the show.
I
you know,
actually
she's
did
like,
like
Coconutt's like,
the
"Can we have
science guy.
breakfast?"
I thought he was entertaining.
She said.
Oh,
She
Hideka?
said we
Hideka?
have breakfast. Coconut was like, I want answers.
Ooh,
That's
good.
what- that's what I said.
Deep cut.
And he said Coconut said I want breakfast.
No, I didn't. I said she was with Coconut, and then she said, "Can I have breakfast?"
Okay.
What? I'm
I
so
hate
lost.
you.
yeah,
Shut up.
that's also a
Actually,
part
you're the one
that's-
editing this episode, so you'll know.
Am I still
Fully-
editing this episode?
Oh.
God.
Yeah, this is the
Okay.
second
This
one.
one?
It's the
That's a part
Oh,
that's
wait.
also paced like horribly. That she's like, I want answers, and then she gets it 30 seconds later, and Paprika's back.
well.
Like it's just that.
She's
She's
like,
like,
"Why don't we have
Oh.
some breakfast?"
yeah,
Well,
I
I want
was-
answers.
because
All
the-
right, here are the answers.
because
yeah,
they're still
I
in
was
pure
eating sweets
illusion.
with Mimi.
Because
you
yeah,
got
because
me.
they're still in pure illusion.
I know, but that's what I'm just saying. Like there
It
could have
is
been
kinda
more
weird.
time. There could have been, a little more of her not figuring that out, that this was like going on. Paprika's just like behind
Yeah, I
her.
mean, I don't
staring at
disagree
her.
that
I
that,
don't
that
know.
especially that part of the ending is rushed. I don't disagree.
I don't think I think the biggest flaw with the ending, I don't think it's because of all of that. I think it's because there is no consequence in the show whatsoever. Like
There's a lot of shows
absolutely,
that have no
absolutely
consequences,
nothing of
so-
consequence happens in the show.
What, like something bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end, everybody gets a happy ending. Not that that's inherently a bad thing, but like throughout the show, there is nothing of consequence. that
Yeah,
happens.
like what's the worst
every
that
time,
happens?
these
is like
characters
the
are
bad.
in danger all the fucking time, and nothing happens.
Like what's the worst thing that happens is that like the bad organization, some of the characters we kind of like from there, are get hurt.
Yeah,
Go.
I mean,
the
I
bad
don't
guys
know.
lose.
The incestuous twins
Yeah.
get hurt, and I sleep.
The bad guys lose. Paprika and Coconut are in love, and they go on adventures together. Mimi's alive somehow, and she's just like kind of vibing. Salt is fine. Whatever the girl's name is like living in her fucking world or whatever.
Which
Hidekai is like fine. Like,
Who
no,
else Hidaka?
Hidaka's the pink-haired doctor. Hidaka,
Oh,
right?
okay,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it is.
He's
What's his
upset.
name?
He's
Yeah,
I
the
like-
two of them are,
crazy
are
doctor.
still working on pure illusion.
Yeah,
so it's still there,
absolutely
yeah.
nothing
Except
of
now he has
consequence
nothing to do.
happens.
I mean,
Minoka
it's a
Magica
happy
had
ending. I'm okay
consequences.
with
You
that.
can you can argue that he lost 1,000,000 years of
Oh, big fucking
No,
whoop.
no, because that wasn't
Oh,
true.
okay.
Oh,
That was
never
a
mind.
pure
Oh,
There's
so then
nothing.
never mind.
So they're in a
I
relationship. They
tried.
don't lose anything.
I tried.
Is like something
Oh,
wrong with
no.
happy endings?
No,
Oh,
there's
wait, never
nothing
mind.
wrong with happy endings.
He
It's
wanted
just that
one bad
throughout
thing
the
to
show. No, it's not. No,
I want
it's
someone
because,
to die.
No, it's because this
It
show
did.
had no stakes whatsoever.
Yeah, it's
He's
not
right.
about
Absolutely no
having a happy
stakes.
ending.
Because all it was build up. We have to get these stones. We have to get these shards. We have to do whatever. And they get thrown into danger. Coconut gets the fucking mask on her, and she fights Paprika. What's her name?
Yayaka.
The incestuous twins in Coconut are trapped in like the hair thing, and Yayaka like has a fight with Paprika. Like perfect moments for something of consequence to happen. But no, they all get out. They get the shard. Everything's fine.
What is
Well,
like
I don't-
Paprika
I don't
gonna
think
kill
that's the
Yayaka?
point of the
Like,
show.
No,
what's
no,
gonna
nothing of
happen?
that. I'm
I
just
think-
saying, like, these are all moments in which you can
You
introduce
know-
Yeah,
some
but I think
semblance
the
of
point of the show
consequence.
was not necessarily that, but more just the self-discovery of yourself.
No, and
You
I
know
get
what
that,
I
and I
think
get
it
that, but that
is?
doesn't mean you
Beautiful.
can't have stakes. That doesn't mean there isn't something to not like. That doesn't mean you can't just coast through the show like so easily.
Does the ending with everything working out just mean that there were no stakes in every episode?
No,
'Cause
No,
every
I'm
episode it was
saying
like, hey,
if there
you're
was-
gonna
if
die.
there
like
was
there was actual
stakes,
stake.
if there was a constant thread of a stake.
Well, the only
if there was
time-
a
the only
constant
time there-
thread of a stake throughout the entirety of the show, the ending would have meant, I think, something a little bit more. Like it felt like they didn't work up to anything to have this like happy ending be.
The only
deserved.
time there
you
ever
said it-
felt like there was a threat was when they were with like the ghost kids, and even then it was just like there's not really a threat. They're not hurting you. They're just keeping you in an endless loop. That's it. And then after that, well, and then what? They're in the abusive household thing, and it's like
Well, yeah, that one's not. I don't think supposed
you
to be
know
a threat-based
that
episode.
wasn't
I think
even a
it's just
threat.
like-
That wasn't even.
No, yeah, I mean that
There
episode.
was-
No,
there-
that episode I
that's-
think is fine.
No,
without having
that
any
was
stakes.
probably the best episode.
Yeah, 'cause
It
that was- yeah, that was
very
purely
rough
a
to- It was very
character
hard
study.
to watch. I didn't like want to watch it, but it was like very well done, especially the animation. I liked how they did it, but other than that, it was like okay.
I mean, like,
going.
so
I
if
think there's-
each episode, if like they could die at any point in each
No, it-
episode, but then the end of it is like, oh hey, everything's okay. That means no stakes. Is
No,
that what
it-
you-
No.
they
But
could
that's
have died
good. No,
at any
like
point.
if you introduce a point in which they could die at any point, like that raises stakes.
It's a show that felt like it had enough action that it felt like it needed to have some kind of stake, and it
Yeah.
just didn't. It just was always going to be they're gonna flip flap, they're gonna work together, and it's over. And there's plenty of shows like that, but it feels like there's more stake. Nobody ever like legitimately got hurt. The
Yeah.
one twin got like a concussion, and that was it.
Like the
I
enemy
mean,
organization
Yayaka was in a coma.
The enemy
there were
organization
twin-
wasn't shown enough
She was
to
in
like be
coma for,
perceived
like,
as a threat.
a
2
day.
minutes.
For like
Yeah.
2
episode.
minutes.
But-
The KKK wasn't shown enough like to be conceived as like
We
a
should really
persistent
stop
threat.
saying that.
We should stop
Because
calling
they
them
are.
Why?
quiet,
The
but they look.
KKK
All
is
No,
threat.
right,
the entire time I was
They're
watching that,
assholes.
the entire time I was watching, I was thinking to myself, what was the design team like? They were like, what's a good evil organization group? And they just Googled and they were like, oh, there's this group in the USA called the KKK. Can we show me a picture real quick? Oh, that's perfect. Use that. Use that. Didn't Helsing do this first? I don't care about Helsing. Do that.
I feel like the best way to like better say what you guys mean, because I feel the same, is like, you know in Yu-Gi-Oh where it's like, okay, Yugi's
This
gonna
is our
duel
perfect-
someone.
We were so
no.
we were
regular
eight-
Yu-Gi-Oh
7
discussion.
minutes away
Let's
from
go,
it.
let's go.
And you had to put Yu-Gi-Oh in here.
every episode.
Sage,
It's
Sage,
like
Yeah.
a parasite. It follows me wherever I go.
Sage, when are we gonna have an episode where we just play Yu-Gi-Oh while
Oh
we
my
talk?
god, that would be so good. But-
There's gonna be a
If,
solid
if
2
there's
people
not
on
a
the
motorcycle, then I don't want
wait,
it.
but honestly, like, okay, it's an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh, and Yugi is at a duel. You know he's going to win. It doesn't matter if the person is straight up cheating in front of his face. Like, does not matter how like stacked it is against him. You know Yugi is going to win. That's how this felt in every time they were like in adverse situation where you're like, I know that they're gonna be okay.
Couldn't
That's
you argue
it.
that for
Yeah,
every
This
show?
show, this show
when-
is all cause, no
No.
effect.
When
No,
there's an entire
you
like
absolutely
4
cannot argue
season
that for every
Alright, not
show.
every
television
At least
series.
other shows kill off their side characters.
Yeah, like Yu Yu Hakusho,
Like,
like
someone could've
there's
died,
no
like,
Their
someone
main
guarantee
character
watching
will
Yu Yu
win.
Hakusho that you
That's what
think,
happens.
like,
But you could have
that
killed
everyone's
some
gonna
other
be
people.
Gucci
Yeah,
moves.
as much
Yeah,
as
no,
much
like
as
they
at one
lose
point
fights in
you're-
Yu Yu Hakusho regularly.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like, at no point in Yu Yu Hakusho you were like, yeah, well, like one of these main 4 are gonna die.
But here's the thing.
That
Here's
doesn't.
the thing.
That's
right?
not the point.
No, it's not
it
even
sounds like what
about.
you're just
No,
saying.
it's not
As
even
much
about.
shit
I'm not
as
saying
as
like
much
main
shit as
four.
Game
I'm
of
saying
Thrones
like in
gets-
general.
Yeah.
As much shit as Game of Thrones gets,
Keep it a little
that's
spoiler
show-
free for.
Well, no,
for
I'm not gonna
this
say
one.
anything. But
Yeah.
as much shit as that show gets, at least now, the first 5 seasons are perfect examples of how to use stakes. Like Red Wedding,
Absolutely. Yeah.
incredible way
Right,
to
I'm
introduce
I'm
stakes.
not
and
disagreeing
also
that
pay off
characters shouldn't
stakes.
die. I mean,
No,
yeah.
but
No,
that's
it's
not
not
even.
even
No,
about
it's not
that.
even saying like
That's not
somebody
even the
should have
one way to
died in
use
this.
stakes. That's not even the way. Characters dying isn't an inherent way to introduce stakes. Like it's not a fallback. Like there are other ways to introduce stakes that don't involve
Well,
characters
all right.
dying.
So like what I'm
There's-
saying is like there's the episode when Coconut and Yuxkiel are in the cage and they're about to be dipped in lava. Right in the last second, like Papika cuts the thing and saves them. Like is
But
that not
there's-
stakes?
No, because there's no like.
He's right. That's stakes.
But I think
It's
there's
just
no
nothing of
consequence
Yeah, not like
in the
nothing-
follow-through of what
nothing
happens.
was inherently changed about Yuskule or Coconut.
Yeah,
in that
like
moment.
it's not like she's
Coconut
triggered
doesn't
by
become-
lava
Well,
or
no, 'cause
something.
after
Yeah.
that
Coconut
episode, she's like,
doesn't-
I'm not going back in. Fuck you, I'm out.
But
And
she
then
goes
she
back
immediately
in.
goes
But she
back.
goes back in
Nothing stops
But what I'm
her
saying is like
from going
there's
back.
there's
She's
the-
like,
there's the
I
arc of her
never
being
wanted
like,
to
"No,
go on
fuck
these
that,"
adventures.
and then she
but
gets
let's
back
go.
into
We're
it.
going here.
Wait,
But here's the
it's
thing, like,
it's so
all of these
short
awful
that
things
it's
happen to
not
Coconut.
relevant.
All of these awful things happen to Coconut, and she doesn't learn anything. Like she's still the same person up until the last episode. Madoka Magica has the same problem.
Yes.
As much as I love that show, it's got the same problem. She doesn't learn shit throughout the entirety of the show. Coconut, I mean. She doesn't learn anything. Like she's put into these like death-defying situations, and absolutely nothing of consequence happens. Like her character doesn't develop. Her character only develops when she's in this relationship with Papika. And like Papika's fine. Papika's already a well-rounded character, so introducing stakes onto her is a little less important. Like Coconut is like she is framed as the
You
protagonist.
want to
Would you
see
agree?
her develop.
You want to see her develop, but not through the only means of her being in a relationship with Papika. Like she needs to learn stuff about like being in danger. Like she needs to have some type of agency. Like throughout the entirety of the show, she
I
doesn't
wanna say
have
something
any
after.
agency up until she starts the fight. Like she starts to
Right.
fight back when she's like with the hair thing, right?
Right.
Because Papika's in danger. You know what I'm saying? So like having characters being able to die at any moment it like is a good way to introduce stakes, but it's not like a fallback. Like you can't do that every
Because that's
single time.
lazy.
Because it's lazy, and then the audience also starts to get used to it and expect it, and they get desensitized to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Flip Flappers, while it does introduce some like solid conflict, because like the Yayaka conflict is great, right? Because like throughout the entirety of the show, you're like, oh shit, like she's just pretending to be her friend. Like that's great, right? But like nothing of consequence is learned from that. Even like with that scenario, right? Because like Coconut finds out, and then she still is friends with Yayaka anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like-
Because she refuses to believe she was faking it.
right.
Wait, I
Yeah.
also have something because you were talking about how she doesn't like develop or anything like that. Like she's the same person. I also agree on this because she gives this speech about how she just wanted to float on her boat and that's all she wanted to do. Like she just wanted to coast by and that's
Yeah.
it. So you think that she's gonna like develop, but all she says is, "I want to go on adventures with you, Papika." Okay, like that's not. There's nothing like
It's not climactic.
I can have like a career now. I can be at it. Like I can go talk to these other people. I can go hang out with senpai. Like anything. What is happening to you?
Don't worry about
Dying.
it. Yeah.
But it's just
How are you?
great. I want
Great.
ramen. So we
Me
gotta
too.
we gotta
should-
wrap this shit up.
We're about there. So
Yeah.
final thoughts,
Okay,
everybody.
good.
Final thoughts.
I
Yeah.
think
Go.
I think a really good
All right,
example for
wait. Go in a line. Final thoughts. Start with Sage.
I was
End with Mike.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
a
no,
good
yeah, okay.
a good example of consequences is like in Death Note where
Have
his
we all watched
dad.
Death Note?
You
I haven't
haven't.
seen Death
Oh,
Note.
you
No
need to.
spoilers.
Yeah.
You would love it.
Okay, never
Spoiler, I'm
mind.
not gonna remember
No,
it. Spoiler, I don't
forget
care.
what I was gonna
No,
say. My
it's
final
too
thought
fun.
on
I think
this
I know
is
what you're
I think
saying.
this show is good and fun. I think you definitely need to watch it twice at least to get the better portion of the show.
Yeah, it can be a fun ride the first way around, but it's a
Right,
deeper
right,
dive the
right,
second.
right. I mean, I'd say it's like a solid 7.
I also gave it a 7. I enjoyed it. I don't think I'll be watching it again. Maybe in like years to come I might and be like, oh, I need something to watch. But I have things other to
Right.
watch that I would rather. But
I mean, I was in the same boat. Like I hadn't watched it again till now.
yeah.
So
Like I enjoyed it, but as we've discussed, this entire time, that it could have benefited from a lot of things. But that's not to say, like, I'm not like them who, like, didn't like it. I did enjoy it, but I do think that it could have benefited by a lot.
Yeah, I agree with Kat. I think it could have benefited from a lot more being put into it. I think Flip Flappers is like not an essential show, but I'm glad it exists because of its representation and very careful handling of LGBTQ relationships. It's visually stunning, and I think its characters are pretty well done. I just wish it benefited from all of the things that I stated previously. I would say it's probably like a 5.5 for me. So it's a solid show.
Honestly, I felt like it was a beautifully animated show. The visuals were stunning, and I feel like it's a good show for a younger female who's maybe, I don't know, maybe you're not sure where you lay in the world, and it's like, it was a really good kind of deep dive on finding who you are in that sense, but that was kind of lost on me, and overall it just wasn't fun for me to watch, but it was good animation, it was good music, and if you like that kind of stuff, you like that kind of like the genre jumping that they did in the early episodes, then it would be a thing I would recommend. But overall, just it was like a 5 for me.
I mean, I totally understand that the show is not perfect in any way, though. Just like I don't know, but I think at the very least, if you just want something like this show, will give you a visual treat at the very least. It is very pretty to look at. And if you pay attention, I think there is some stuff to find, but you don't have to necessarily do that to enjoy the show itself. Like I said, the first time I watched it, I just thought it was a cool, pretty show. This time around, I was like, oh, like I see much more about it. I gave it a 9 originally. I think for me, I might still maybe an 8.5. But overall, I think it might still stay as a 9 for me personally. But I enjoyed it. And I think it would still be worth watching. But you're right, there are some shows that do things better, but I do like the aspects that this show does. Yeah, so I think that's that for that.
All right,
Which
so
means we are
next
doing
month,
our next club.
Next month's anime that you all have to watch is my choice, and I'm picking Kagi Osama Love is War.
Yay! Good,
Which-
because that's on my list.
I know
like
it's on
watched
your
like
list.
2
That's on my
episodes.
list
Also on my
too.
list.
Yeah,
I gotta tell
nice.
you
I
guys.
didn't know it existed until
Yeah.
2 seconds
Okay,
ago.
great. I think
That's
you're
been
gonna
on my
you're gonna
list.
like it.
Yeah,
It's
I was gonna start it last week.
a really
Oh,
quick little
But
introduction.
don't we all have to watch it either sub or dub because the jokes are different?
I want
Don't we have to, like,
no.
agree
I
on
will,
one?
I do have a little thing for that. Let me introduce the show first. So Kaguya-sama Love is War is a show about two tsunderes, which is two incredibly proud people who have a crush on each other but refuse to admit to the other. They'd rather make the other admit it to them. But they're both stubborn
It's like the
idiots.
worst middle school crush.
That is-
Yeah.
that's
And they're
kinda really
and
funny.
they're
Yeah.
both like high schoolers, so they're extra stupid about love.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
No, so it's really funny. It's just like two like very smart high schoolers from like the most prestigious high school in Japan with like the most prestigious positions, like trying to make each other confess
They're
that
in the
they love
student
each
council,
other.
right?
They're the student council.
Because as anime
Yeah.
says, the student council is better and higher,
More
more
powerful
powerful
than
than
God.
God. World
So-
governments, fuck them. God, student council's their bitch.
So it's just a really funny show where each episode is one of them trying to make the other confess or vice versa. And it does have this interesting thing where the delivery of the jokes is kind of different in the sub versus the dub. So I would like to say a little requirement is watch at least one episode in the opposite of what you're watching it in. If you want to watch the whole thing dub, go for it. It's great. If you watch the whole thing sub, go for it. It's great. Just watch one episode in the opposite. So you kind of get a vibe of like how the differences go. Other than that, I really hope you guys enjoy it. And thank you so much for watching us this week. Please watch the show with us. Tell us in the comments if you're watching and how you liked the show. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to us. We're on Twitter and
Talk to us at Twitter if you like the show, want to talk about it.
And Anthony here on YouTube at Super Milkshake. Cat streams pretty regularly at
Not
Cat
anymore. I mean, I still stream, but like
fairly
just not
regularly
regularly.
at Cat the Moonstar.
Yeah.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. Leave a review everywhere except for Spotify.
The one I
Can't do
use, of
that.
course.
Yeah. And yeah, join us next week with whatever the hell we talk about because we don't know ever.
Probably some kind of anime.
Probably.
I'll bring up
Vaguely.
something.
At
Being
least
scared is
vaguely.
asking for too
So-
much.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next week.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
See ya.
bye.